Hey gang, welcome. We're just getting some technical stuff checked out here before we get too deep into it. But I'm gonna keep talking in chat while Rainey's doing the sound checks. Hello. Yeah, we didn't. It's funny. Rainey got here while I was in the bathroom. Didn't know we had the pre-roll going. It's all right. We're good. We're good. We got it going. I'm gonna scoot. Wait, no. I think we gotta turn the camera a little bit. Make it. There we go.
All right.
There we go.
Let me check a few more things. Is that a game capture?
Game capture. How's that sound going? Oh, buddy, we've got some good announcements for you. So if we're just going live right now, but check it out, folks. We have not only the announcement of the Season 2 Championships bracket and a way for you, the viewers, to win $100 just by watching the Super Magical Cup, but we also are going to have a very special draft format for you today featuring 4 of the top clans in the game. Super Magical Cup is committed to providing the best tournament broadcast experience events in the Clash Royale community, and that means expanding beyond just one-on-one tournament play. We're going to continue doing our one-on-one tournament brackets for the foreseeable future, but we wanted to test out what other formats would look like. Clan tournaments are very, very popular, as are draft events. And we wanted to make sure that we could try out in this 1 week that we have between now and the Season 2 Championships, a clan event and a draft event. So why not a clan draft event? And that's what we're doing today. Sounds good?
All right. So
All
it looks
right.
like this is really, really...
Because it's copying it twice, I bet. Kill it in the other scene. In scene 5 is where it's at. You can just kill that one, maybe.
I think we will see. We will see if that's the case. Also, the audio is in. Okay, let's redo it.
Yeah, go ahead and redo the Elgato, and we'll. Rainey is a tech wizard. I'm just talking with a green screen behind me. What's going on? We're not really. The background's not really like this, folks. I hate to show you how the sausage is made. It's a green screen. Now we'll get started here in just a second. There we go. There's the game capture, the good stuff. Oop, psych. Where'd it go?
The Elgato's having a
Elgato's freaking out. There it is. Oh, it's back.
Okay. The first thing that we want to do.
Let's see if this. Okay, good. There we go. There, now it's working. Doot. I think we just kept it full screen and then put it below all the other layers. I'm not sure though.
This takes a certain amount
a little finesse here. Oh.
Yeah. Yep. Super Magical Cup at its finest.
This is There's always a little bit of tech issues when you're using PCs with mobile games, but we actually got our iPad is super, I actually really like the iPad setup the last few weeks that we've had. We used to use emulators and I didn't like them at all, so I'm really glad that we got to do this. Again, I think we can, does that work? Oh, it's real close. Yes! Okay, folks, let's go to the good stuff. The good news now that we are live. Right on time, too, 12:02.
A little bit more.
Yeah!
Close it up.
Close it up.
The question is the audio working?
I think so. Everyone can hear us, right? Can you guys hear the game?
They can hear the mic, but I don't think they can hear the game.
Start tapping on buttons.
I can't hear the game.
You can't hear the game?
I can't hear the game, so probably they can't hear the game. Not to say that I'm... Oh, I can hear the game!
You can hear the game! All right. Can we, the SMC viewers, be a part of it? You, the SMC viewers, can be a part of watching it for sure, and definitely get to join in on the bracket tournament. Okay, real quick.
Oh, we have the brackets.
We have the brackets. I know that's what I'm saying. We got Rainey already knows them. Real quick. I'm gonna make sure that Lucas tweets it real fast to make sure that it's tweeted out. And once the bracket's tweeted out, we're gonna talk about it. I'll be back in not even 30 seconds, and we'll be good to go.
Meanwhile, you can't hear the game? No game sound. We can't hear the game. Yes, we can. No game sound. No game sound. There's one person. Okay. Let me identify. System Alright, guys. We're gonna figure it out, okay? We're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out by trying this.
This is what happens when there's traffic in Los Angeles, buddy. We both tried to get here early, but traffic in Los Angeles is something else.
Can you hear?
Oh, it's super low game sound. Okay. Well, that's an easy problem to fix because we have the volume mixer, don't we?
Okay. How about now?
And it takes like 15 seconds to catch up, unfortunately.
How about now?
Test, test, test. Now it's too loud.
Oh, God.
Oh, wait, no, are they screwing people up?
The problem that doesn't exist.
It kind of exists. It's kind of a real problem. All right, guys. Let's get into the good stuff, though. Where are them brackets at? I have it right here. Okay, cool.
I want to be in the bracket, please. It's not that you're in the bracket.
You're invited to it. All right, good. Cool. We are solid right now. We are good to go. Folks, we've kept you waiting 4 whole minutes longer.
Well, at least we let them watch it.
You get to watch some great games. But you know what's even better games is next week's Season 2 Super Magical Cup Championship, guys. We are so unbelievably hyped for this. If this is your first time watching Super Magical Cup, let's set the stage a little bit for you. Many months ago, Rainy, in a room alone, not even in this room that we're in right now, a totally different room.
A smaller room.
A smaller room. And we're in a medium-sized room now. Started the Super Magical Cup with the goal of finding the best Clash Royale player in the world. And we have been running weekly bracketed tournaments since April, since mid-April now.
A long
6 months. 6 months and counting. And at the end of Season 1, after we did, I think, 10 Super Magicals, we decided to do a Super Magical Cup Invitational Championship to determine the Season 1 championship. We invited the top 16 players from... based on, I believe, points, like a point leaderboard.
Yep.
And those players were grouped into pods of 4. The pods, they had to play every other player in their pod to cut to a top 8. It was the most competitive Clash Royale event I've ever seen personally. And Clyde, the upset 16th seed, came through the field and beat everyone. And that was really the breakout event for Clyde in his tournament scene. Yeah. He's since then become a Clan Royale League MVP, Season 1 MVP. He's one of the top people on the leaderboard last week. And, you know, he's just a great player. And we found out about that at the Season 1 championships. Yeah. That was almost 4 months ago now, because we have run 12 Season 2 weekly events, and that has led us to the Season 2 championships. And for the first time right now, we are going to reveal the Season 2 championships bracket. You guys ready?
Let's
do
it.
Dun.
Oh, and I see.
When you turn in next week, on October 15th, you will be able to watch all 16 of these players compete against each other for the Super Magical Cup Season 2 Championship. The way it's going to work is that the players are divided into these groups of 4. Now, let's just talk about, like, let's say Builder's Workshop, for example, the top group. Patriots, Marcus, Clyde, and Level 99, like usual, are going to have to build 2 decks, submit 2 decks for us. But then instead of just playing in a single match bracket, they will have to play every other person in the group. So Patriots 34 is going to play Marcus 35. Clyde's going to play Level 99. Clyde's going to play Marcus. Clyde's going to play Patriots. Yep. They're all going to play each other for 3 rounds, and the top 2 players in each group is going to advance to the top 8. Now, here's how you, the viewer, can get involved. If you would like to win $100, and you know, if $100 is something that's interesting to you, go ahead and download this bracket, which is live on our Twitter page right now. So go to Twitter/SuperMagicalCup. You can download the bracket. Use MS Paint or whatever program you have to go ahead and write who you think is going to finish first and second in each group. From that, seed the top 8 based on their placement and decide who's going to win each round through the championship and who's going to win the title. Tweet it back at us at Twitter/SuperMagicalCup, and when the championship is done next week, we're going to go through, pick the best bracket, the most accurate bracket, and that player wins $100.
$100. So make sure you know how this bracket works out. Rumham has very nicely labeled the top 8 round by BW1. That means the first place winner in Builder's Workshop will fill that slot, and then the second place winner of Pekka's Playhouse will be their matchup. And so you can kind of figure out what the brackets will look like at that point. And we don't really, aside from the round robin, need you to denote kind of points. You just need to denote first out of the group or second out of the group.
Correct.
And then past that, it's just winners.
So let's take a look at some sample brackets. We actually had some members of the Super Magical Cup team fill it out. Rainey, let's take a look at your bracket first. Rainey's bracket is filled out, and talk us through it here. What do you think?
All right. Okay, Builders Workshop, right? Let's start from there. Patriots 34, currently 3-time winner in the Super Magical Cup, has been a high performer and high placing competitor within that time period as well. I mean, he didn't win 3 back-to-back, but in the time period that he won those 3, he was definitely making the top placements very consistently. I think you would be misguided not to put your chips onto Patriots 34.
Fun note, though, about Builders Workshop, there are 4 players in that group that have 6 SMC wins between them. So that is certainly a group of tough competitors.
Yep, and then as you said, the other people in the group, Marcus 35, Clyde, and Level 99. So I think between the 2 players, Marcus 35 and Clyde have actually been a little more quiet than Patriots 34 and Level 99. Level 99 is very, very, very recent. He just really made big showings in the Super Magical Cup in the last few weeks or so, while Marcus 35 and Clyde have had their time to shine previously, but we've really not heard about them in a long while. Whether that's because they couldn't participate or that's because they've had less than stellar results, not sure, but just going by what I see, I would choose Level 99. Down in Spell Valley, we got Marcel P, Bacalol, CMC Hugh, and Zadian. I chose CMC Hugh as the first place kind of winner in that group, just because I think CMC Hugh, despite the fact that he did not play in the Super Magical Cup as much, I think he's one of the best players out there.
Sure.
He wins so many events and
several 15K tournaments when those things are still around.
Yeah, so I think he will be set to leave the group in round robin. And I think Marcel P will be right behind his heels because Marcel P, I feel like, has demonstrated very good, consistent play. Bacalol, great double prince player, great player all around. But I think if I were to compare Bacalol to Marcel P, I would say Marcel P is probably better consistently by playing more solid decks that he knows will be able to beat out the majority of the other decks that he's fighting. Zadian, I think, unfortunately, I put him.
There's always tough choices, buddy. It's tough. Like, let's Eric, I want to talk about the bottom half of the bracket. Actually, I noticed that you and I had the same, I think, pretty controversial pick here. So we'll go ahead and switch over here. I noticed that in both your bracket and my bracket, which is now up on the screen, we both don't have Woody making it out of group stages, which is wild to me because, like, I thought I was going to be the only person who took Woody. And the only reason why is I think Woody actually is one of the best technical players in the game, but in a group format, if ESL Yo, Procol, and Trainer Chris all know that he's playing Mortar, can they scheme around that and make sure that they bring decks that don't, lose to Mortar? That's a tough part of the format. I'll admit I'm really sketchy about not picking Woody to advance. That could easily blow up in my face and ruin my whole bracket. I'm also taking another controversial pick and not moving C McHugh, mostly because I'm a big mark for Bacalol. I don't know if Bacalol's even that great, but I love the double prince too much, and I had to pick through it.
And of course, we're saying this in comparison to the rest of the players in this. Everybody who got to this point really has already proved that they are excellent skilled players, but it's just it's all relative, right? These are all champions of the Super Magical Cup. And I would agree. Woody is a tough pick to not make it out of groups. I actually picked Woody not to move out of groups because, try on this side. I actually picked Woody to not move out of groups because I think that currently the Mortar is actually the less strong of the Siege cards, and I think Crossbow is definitely the favored one.
So let's see. We also have Polo89, who is our sort of one of the other members of the team, also filled out a bracket, and he has Patriots going all the way with Darth Jar Jar. Or actually, he seems to be he's got Darth Jar Jar going pretty deep, and Patriots and Woody going deep. So definitely took a different angle than the rest of us did to get here. Maybe we have to close this. We got one. Pull up Discord.
All right.
Yeah, it's not working.
Let me.
Go ahead.
You can go ahead and keep talking about the brackets.
So remember, guys, if you want to play in this event, or I'm sorry, if you want to fill out a bracket for yourself, go to our Twitter at Super Magical Cup, fill out the bracket yourself the exact way, and remember to assign the people from the groups to their right spot. The reason why we did the top 8 like this is that if you make it out of groups, you will not play someone from your group unless you meet in the finals again. So once you get out of the group, you are good to go. Let's go down to the Draft Masters chat, and we'll get back. Let's start talking about the rule. I'm sorry, I got it. It's right here. So what's going on? Oh, no.
Yeah, no problem.
So let's get back into the in-game here. And let's talk about today's draft event. Oh, no. We might need a replacement. Better? Like...
Yeah, that was just...
I'm sorry, we're trying to find a... Let's see if... There we go.
Cool. Take a look at the...
No, so Pika Pals is saying in chat, there's so many good choices in the bracket, how can you eliminate anyone? And buddy, I agree. Like, how tough is that? That was so hard to go through the bracket to pick it out. And hey, actually, while we're here, guys, let's talk about some awesome aspect of Super Magical Cup. Yours truly, Rainy and Rumham, the Super Magical Cup, are in-app, buddy. So Supercell, big fans of the Super Magical Cup, thank you very much, Supercell, decided to link our History of the Meta series in-app today. Big thanks to the fans. You guys have been so supportive of the History of the Meta series. You guys tell people, you know, Super Magical Cup is the best YouTube, go check it out. And it's that support and that feedback that I think put us on their radar and, you know, made this happen. So thank you to the fans. And go check out the History of the Meta series if you haven't already. We go through every game update, every balance update, and talk about, you know, what the game was like, what things, you know, sort of happened around that time, and why these balance updates were put in. This special episode was on the Helsinki tournament, the April Helsinki tournament, and it's a pretty great little video. So go give it a watch.
Really, really interesting to look back at the history of these tournaments and see how they develop. We're kind of waiting to see if we can fill spots here for our Draft Masters event. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what we'll be watching today?
Yeah. So, actually, can you take over on Discord and poke, you know, Apex Predator might be around. I'm trying to think. Okay, so we're having someone who his Wi-Fi isn't working. One of today's draft members is having a difficult time trying to get his Wi-Fi to work, so I hope he's able to play, but if not, we might have to find a last-minute replacement. I would just start adding people, like, we'll figure it out. I might even actually bump someone in the Super Magicals and see if they can do it. But yes, let's talk about this clan draft format. We've been really interested in doing a draft format. I'm a big fan of drafting and card games. Drafting is a format where instead of building any deck that you want, players take turns picking cards back and forth, and then once all the cards are picked, or once a set number of cards are picked, you have to build a deck with just those selected cards. Let's take a look. Can anyone play?
Oh no! That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Internet. The internet is...
Yeah, the internet's actually messing up a lot of people today. Draft today. Anyone? King K can't make it, which is a bummer because King K is always a blast to watch.
King K102, which actually is something that is also very, very unfortunate about the championships. I mean...
Oh, you're right. He's not going to be able to make it next week for the championships either. That's a big bummer. King K is actually the one person who couldn't make it to the bracket, and that's what let Level 99, who is 17th on the leaderboard, move into it. Okay, guys, so let's talk about the draft format here. We'll do a really quick review of the rules. There are 2 players per clan. We're going to put the clans against each other. So the first match is, I believe, Reddit Alpha versus Silent, which is a pretty high-profile matchup. So it's going to be Zadian and Marcel P against Hazard and Chicken Bob. And the way that it's going to work is they're going to take turns picking cards one at a time. We're going to watch the draft live here in the chat. At the end, once every player has picked, or each clan has picked 20 cards, so they'll take turns picking. When each clan has 20 cards, they have to get they have to build 2 decks where each player gets 10 cards each in order to build their decks with, and then they play a best of 3 matchup against the other clan where you have your 8-card deck and your 2 extra cards that you can sub in and out in between games if you want to adjust a little bit. The winning clan from each match will play the winners of the others. They're going to get into a Final Four, redraft again, and we're just going to watch some matches and see how it plays out. We're really interested in trying out clan formats, trying out draft formats, and we're going to see how this goes. This is mostly a test run, a trial run. We wanted to do something fun to fill the weekend between today and next week's championship, so we are having a fun little casual broadcast.
Yeah.
Probably going to be talking to the chat a little bit more than often.
Yep, and I'm really excited to see how this goes. Draft is always incredibly interesting because you start seeing some very, very, very unique decks due to the draft system and the pool of cards that you have to play with. So we will see.
Okay. All right, so let's make sure. Let's tell the admin, by the way. Here, just mention in Draft Masters. Just say it's the Flash, and we can add them. Okay. Yeah, so we actually do have a last minute substitutions. Good job. The Flash is going to be able to make it.
Woohoo! Season finale is indeed next week, so this is kind of our
It's a fun broadcast. Yeah, we're having fun. We're having fun with you guys. We wanted to put on this really cool stuff. The season finale is next week. This is just an experimental test. We would like to, for season 3 or maybe other, the future events, to do more clan and draft events. But instead of committing to a format forever, we're just going to try it out here today. Let's see. It's the Flash. The Flash. There it is. The Flash.
Oh wow.
And we're gonna add him.
Wait, is this the Flash or is this?
This is the Flash.
Is this Flash?
It's the Flash of it's the not Lightning Bolt Flash. It's the Flash who is I believe a former member of Clash Wars is gonna be joining us here. There we go. The Flash. He'll be joining soon enough. Let's go take a look at. I keep doing that. I want to tap on the thing. All right, the Flash made it in. Okay, folks. So here's how we're gonna do it. Really simple. We're gonna be watching the draft here in the format. I think we have everyone, actually, right? Let's take a look. We've got Clark Kent, Hazard, Zadian, Naders, Chicken Bob, The Flash. Who are we missing?
Wait. Let's count in.
Yeah, 1, 2, yeah. Our Marcel P. and Zadian. 2, Chicken Bob, The Flash. And now we just need Procol. We need Procol to join.
Procol's in chat. I saw him. Procol.
I see him. I know. Procol's talking. Procol join.
Procol.
Yeah, join SMC clan. Jeez. The funny thing is that Procol was organizing that team, so with him, or I'm sorry, King K was organizing, so when he just suddenly couldn't make it.
Oh no!
Yeah, so cool, we got it, we got everyone. We got the last few members here joining right now, and we're gonna close the clan right after. No way. See ya. Sorry, buddy. We're waiting on one more, and then we'll get the draft going in just a few minutes here.
What a username too. We get some crazy.
We get some characters, and we're going to close this clan up right after. We don't want the draft to be interrupted by all these fine folks. There we go, Procol. Thanks for joining, and let's go ahead and close the clan. Closed. All right. All right, we have all 8 of our players, and the first match is, I believe, going to be Silent versus Reddit Alpha.
Ooh.
So here, let's
see who represents. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and type if you'd like. Silent. So this is going to be fun, guys. Who do you think's going to win between Silent and Reddit Alpha?
Reddit Alpha.
You think Reddit Alpha?
Reddit Alpha.
I'd like to see Silent make a pretty big appearance. The cool thing is that Chicken Bob is a really defensive deck, and we've done some drafts here, like mock drafts, and I think defensive decks are pretty good in drafts. Let's do this as a fun thing. We each get 10 picks each, and we'll go back and forth and just see how we end up picking a deck. So you get first pick, first overall. First round, first pick.
For all the cards, right?
Yeah.
Okay, out of all the cards, I will pick Princess.
Ooh, I'm gonna go Elixir Collector.
You're gonna go Elixir Collector? Wait, does this mean, are we picking for ourselves?
Yeah, it's for ourselves, and you can't pick any card that's been picked before.
Oh,
so okay.
I didn't realize.
Oh, let's try again. Go again. First pick, first draft. There you go. Good. You start.
Well, actually, fine. You know what? Let's roll with it. Let's try to build a deck without an Elixir Collector. All right, so I'll pick Princess.
First round, first pick, buddy. If I can get Tom Brady on my team, I want Tom Brady on my team. So I got
Princess. You got Collector. So I have to pick my next card.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
But I have Elixir Collector, and you don't have it. So what would you do?
Minor.
Minor. See, that's a good one. All right. Poison.
Okay, you got poison.
And the best spell. I want the premium spell.
All right, you got poison. So you got collector and poison.
You got minor princess already. Though. You got a deck.
Minor princess. So the thing is, you're building up to you're building up to giant poison. So I need to make sure that I have a deck aggressive enough to defeat collector, and also not get dunked by giant poison. I'm thinking of picking Inferno Tower, but it might be a little too early on in the draft to do that. Let me think. I got minor. I got princess.
I think you might. If you took fireball, you'd have minor and fireball, and my elixir collector isn't nearly as advantageous, right?
Yeah.
You can kind of counterpick me in that regard.
I'm trying to figure out if there's a world where I would pick either lightning or rocket.
Maybe if I pick like 3 musketeers, you'd obviously want to do
lightning. That. Yeah. I don't know. Pick giant. Pick giant yourself, and I have minor giant princess.
But then I'll just get P.E.K.K.A, right? I'll take Mama.
Okay, you know what? Maybe I'll take Lava Hound.
Ooh, all right. You got Lava Hound, minor. Ooh, you got all 3 legendaries, buddy. You're getting greedy. Inferno Tower.
Okay.
Now the lightning doesn't seem so bad though.
Yeah. Yeah. I think. Okay, so is it Lava Hound? So the question now is, do I take lightning or do I take zap? Right? Because I won't be able to get both. And then
I can't believe Zap is still on the board. I can't believe Ice Spirit's still on the board.
Yeah, that's the other one I was thinking of. But Ice Spirit is a great card, but it can fit into almost any deck. You know what I mean?
Hold on a second. Answering some admin chats for the drafters. 1 message per pick in clan chat. Use Discord for side talk or admin questions. All right, we're gonna get the draft started real soon here. Our admin's starting to handle it right now.
I think I'm gonna take Zap. I'm gonna take Zap, and this is the reason why, because I don't have the collector.
Okay.
So I want to keep costs low. So I'm gonna take Zap.
Okay, and here we go. They're talking about right now who's gonna pick first in chat. Team Silent gets first round, first pick of the first clan draft ever. Order should be.
Oh, there he goes. He picked. Wow, really? He picked Inferno Tower first.
Wow. Okay, let's get. This will be the draft order. Where it's going to be Chicken Bob, Marcel P, Hazard, Zadian, and then it's Snake's back. So we're actually doing it Snake style,
so
where
Zadian will pick again.
Right, Zadian picks a second time. All right, cool. Just get the final thing right there. So the order is going to go Chicken Bob, Marcel P, Hazard, Zadian, Hazard, Marcel, Chicken Bob, Marcel. It's going to snake back and forth. Yeah. So Chicken Bob is the first pick with Inferno Tower. Marcel P picks Minor. All right. Ooh. Marcel P, I think, is a very defensive player, a very strategic defensive player, and he's the sort of person who I believe wants to grab that early because now he can play Minor Poison or some other sort of grindy defensive rocket cycle choice. Hazard takes the first spell off the board with poison. So already
Inferno Tower Poison.
The Clash Wars team, Team Silent already has Inferno Tower and Poison, so they're going very defensive right off the bat. Here's what's interesting about this, though, is that the clans can share their 20 picks. So each player is going to pick 10 times, but at the end, they're going to pool their 20 cards together and divide it up 10 and 10. So even though Hazard picks Poison, Chicken Bob could theoretically play it and vice versa. Zadian goes with Mega Minion, and Zadian will get to pick, again, a second pick. Mega Minion, first, is it really that good?
Let me write these down. I think that's probably a good idea.
Yep.
So we remember which team picked what. But yeah, I think Mega Minion is actually a very, very, very stable card in the meta right now.
And Zadian goes with Giant too, so right off the bat, we've got Minor, Mega Minion, Giant for Reddit Alpha. So they're already on the way to building a decent Giant deck, but of course Hazard has Poison. So Giant Poison is off the board in terms of a deck that can be played.
Alright, so we got Silent and R Alpha. And yeah, I actually think Mega Minion is like one card in getting part of the way to protecting yourself against Giant Bowler.
Yep.
And if you don't have it, you are in for a world of hurt.
We'll see how this goes. What's really interesting, so...
Is anybody going to pick Inferno Dragon? That's the question.
I would like... Here's the thing. So because there's 20 picks per team, we're going to go 40 out of the 60 cards in the game are going to get picked. So what are the bottom third cards that don't quite make it? But I think Inferno Dragon will make the cut. Mini P.E.K.K.A comes off the board for Hazard. For Silent, really, because it could be either one playing it.
Alright, I'm trying to keep a log of these cards as well as
the God asks, why did they pick Giant without Poison? Well, Giant is already a really
You can do Giant Lightning.
You can do Giant Lightning. You can even just have Fireball and you don't have Poison. I'm surprised that no one's picked Elixir Pump already. Music Master in chat feels the same way. Ice Spirit from Marcel P. One of probably the most efficient, cheap cost card in the game. It's really hard for Ice Spirit to not gain value there.
It's likely that maybe they don't want to pick Collector in case maybe they pick cards that allow them a really cookie counter to Collector. Like maybe they get like a really aggressive fast moving deck.
Yeah.
And they're just betting on like, oh, if you play Collector first, I'm just gonna rush you down with some crazy thing. I don't really know what the mind game is, but one has to have it and one doesn't, right? So
crazy move here. So Silent has already gotten Zap and Poison. Zadian takes Collector, so now Reddit Alpha has both the Miner and the Collector, which I think is pretty wild.
Oh, no, I did it wrong. Because Zadian picked twice, so actually these two are swapped. Mini P.E.K.K.A. So that means...
Was Zadian out of order?
No, because Zadian picked twice because it was sneaking around.
It should have been Marcel.
I wrote it down wrong. So Mini P.E.K.K.A. was a silent pick, and then Marcel was a Reddit Alpha
It should be Chicken Bob again. Chicken Bob actually gets to pick twice.
Okay.
Before...
Out of order pick!
Yeah, good job. That's our admin running the Rainy account. Yeah, Chicken Bob should actually get 2 picks back to back.
So Marcel P is Reddit Alpha, right? Picking Ice Spirit.
Marcel P picks Ice Spirit. So so ignore the Collector pick. It goes Zap Guards for Chicken Bob, and now Marcel gets to pick again.
And he's probably gonna pick Collector.
He might pick Collector, right? It would make sense, right? It's still on the board. It's like one of those things when you draft fantasy football, you accidentally say the wrong one. Everyone in chat saying Chicken pick Pump. You know what they're gonna do? Like, so now Marcel gets to pick, and then Hazard, and then Zadian can quit being so impatient.
Zadian, please.
Yeah, right. Let's be punchy with these picks. Fine. People thinking too much. Everyone's chitty chatting.
I'm sure as it gets further into the drafting phase, you start thinking a little bit harder because you're starting to realize, the game's gonna start playing out in a certain way.
Oh man, Marcel. Tick,
Chicken Bob
tick,
is.
We're gonna start picking for you.
Pick him. Spear Goblins. Oh, he did. There's the.
There we go.
All right.
Marcel P takes the Collector off the board. Now it's Hazard's pick.
I'm really interested
too. Oh, good. I'm sorry.
I'm really interested too to see how the Elixir Collector, like, what are the win rates of decks with Elixir Collector?
I wish we could make a list because text in XSplit's not very good in terms of making lists or whatever. I wish I could make a list so we could keep the draft picks on either side. Hazard takes Princess. There we go. Actually, Princess is the second legendary off the board after Miner. I think that makes a lot of sense because they are really, really, really strong.
They're very low risk and guaranteed return. The Miner and the Princess are very similar in that sense, where they're very low risk and they guarantee return. So in a draft, when you don't really know what your decks are going to end up being,
Zadian on the butt end here takes both Bowler and Rocket. So it looks like both. It's interesting because the traditional Inferno Tower Bowler defense deck is actually split between these two players now.
Yeah.
Like Hazard gets to pick next now, but Reddit Alpha has the Bowler, the Rocket, the Collector, and Ice Spirit, along with Miner Mega Minion, but Silent has Inferno Tower, Poison, Zap, and Guards, and even Princess, so...
And it's interesting, too, and I think Zadian is more of a giant Bowler player, but Silent as a clan, I think, are much, at least based on what the decks they bring in the Super Magic Club, they're much more in vein of, like, the Inferno Tower, Bowler, Spell Cycle, and now they don't have Rocket.
What'll be really challenging... Ooh, Golem out of Chicken Bob. There's our first surprise pick. Golem's getting picked up in the, the first pick of like the 4th round or something like that. We're getting a little deeper in there.
I wonder.
Golem.
Now, the Inferno Tower is down. I wonder if Reddit Alpha is going to have to pick Inferno Dragon now.
Dude, admin keeping it strict here.
Pressing the red button on them.
Yeah, red button. Yeah,
never mind.
Never mind. I didn't want that one. No, yeah, sorry. It should be Hazard. Is it Hazard Marcel, I think?
So Xavier just did his double pick.
Yeah.
So that means it should go back to Hazard.
Hazard, that's right.
Yeah.
Ice
Now they're on the same team. If you know Chicken Bomb wanted Golem, why did you just pick Golem for him?
Oh, I see. You're right, because they are on the same team. So like that's so silly. Because you're right. So Chicken Bob's sitting there all salty, like I wanted Golem.
Yeah, they're not communicating.
Oh, that's funny. No, that's fine. That's fine. Maybe they thought about it. And Ice Wizard's a better choice.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't realize Ice Wizard's still on the board.
Okay, so Golem is not a thing. So it's Ice Wiz.
So Hazard just picked, and now I think we are. It goes Hazard Marcel. Marcel should have the next pick.
Music Master. God. Oh, that's not very nice, Music Master.
He's in Silent.
Oh, no.
Yeah. He's one of the Silent members.
I see.
I think he is. Maybe that's a different Music
Makes
Master.
much more sense now.
That's what you're saying. Yeah, there it is. Music Master's in Silent. He's trolling his own clan in chat. All right. Clash Royale has thrown us a host. Thanks, Clash Royale, the official Clash Royale channel, throwing us a host. We really appreciate it. We are doing a draft right now between Silent and Reddit Alpha, and it is actually Reddit Alpha's pick right now. So I'm making some notes. Guys, also, if you have any feedback about how to do this draft or anything you think, please let us know in chat, tweet at us, email, whatever ways you want to get.
Absolutely.
Please, because this is a test event in order to find out how to do these drafts a little better. If something goes wrong or is a little rough around the edges, just let us know because we'll improve it before we actually make this a permanent format. Musketeer is a card that in the mock drafts that I've done, we've done some mock drafts just to test this format out.
Yeah.
Musketeer is one of the higher picked troops, so I'm surprised that it was on the board this late. I thought Music Master was. Maybe it's...
Scroll to the bottom of the clan list, kick Music Master.
That's funny. I think they have, maybe it's Music Makers. There's someone in Silence, like Music something, I think.
I think he's just pretending.
Yeah.
People are discussing the mind games of Chicken Bob, saying Golem, and then people
psyching him out.
They're trying to. So they're trying to make Reddit Alpha counter Golem, and then Chicken Bob ends up not picking it. Look at him. He actually didn't pick it.
He didn't even want it. He's like, nah, forget gold.
That is exactly like me when I go try to order desserts at a restaurant. I was like, I think I want this, and then I get them like, oh man, I didn't want it.
Silent picks up Minions and Hog. That seems like now with their remaining cards, they're maybe trying to build. What are they trying to build? They don't have Musketeer. Here's the thing. Trifecta's off the board now because they're split up.
Yep.
Hog is in one clan and Musketeer's in the other clan.
So the thing is, I think like the question, what are they trying to build, is something that gets absolutely demolished just because of the fact that you go back and forth and your original plans, they're never going to go as intended.
Yeah.
So you're going to end up with a mishmash of cards where you're going to have to be creative about how you're going to put them together.
And that's what's so fun about the draft format is that you see interesting combinations. You see like interactions you might not normally see. Here's what's crazy. Even though like Silent has Zap, only one of the Silent players can actually play Zap, right?
Yep.
They have to divide them up between their players. Marcel takes Fireball. I actually think in this format, Fireball is a great pick because there's only one poison.
Yep.
So if you can happen to get, let's see, Marcel gets it, guaranteeing that Fireball and Poison aren't in the same clan. If you can pick up Poison and Fireball, both of your players can play one.
You would definitely want to play Three Musketeers.
Very strong.
If
Yeah.
you
You're
picked
right.
up Fireball and Poison, you would definitely want to play Three Musketeers.
You're right. It's a very good point. And with Reddit Alpha having Fireball, maybe they want to go for Three Musketeers later in the draft.
Oh, they picked up arrows. That's good that they picked up arrows because they don't have minions.
They
Actually.
counterpicked Minion Horde. Oh, dude, get this. Silent has Minions and Minion Horde and Minions at Chicken Bob and Minion Horde by Hazard. Zadian just savage arrows.
Yeah, so what I would do is split up, one player plays minions, one player plays Minion Horde, then you have at least one matchup where there's no arrows and there's minions.
I get what you're saying. You're right.
And
That's a
then
good idea.
The other thought too is, well, does this bring out Wizard? Mm-hmm. Or does it bring out Baby Dragon?
Good point. Wizard is still on the board there. But would Reddit Alpha necessarily want Wizard? There's also a lot of interesting cards like Witch, where like Witch may not be great in when you only have to pick 8 cards.
There it is!
There's the Golem. So I bet you Hazard wants to play Golem because, well, they have Giant.
It's interesting that none of them have picked Lava Hound. I would say Giant and Lava Hound are the two big bodies to go for.
I would have probably picked Lava Hound up if I'm Reddit Alpha and I have Miner, right? He has an early Miner, so Lava Hound's sitting on the board. Silent has both Giant and Golem, which leads me to believe that one of them is going to play a Giant deck and one's going to play a Golem deck. But it's crazy because, actually, they could probably build two different tanky decks. They have Ice Wizard and Princess. They've got Minions and Minion Horde. Maybe one player could play like a Giant Hog, like a Jason deck.
Yeah.
And the other could play like, Golem,
the Giant
Princess.
belongs to the other team because I messed
Oh,
up
I'm
the
sorry.
order. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Reddit Alpha has Giant,
Yep.
and Mini P.E.K.K.A has.
Yeah.
So they have Golem and maybe Hog as two separate decks.
Oh, interesting. They're going for the Prince. So they have a Giant Prince in their deck list here. That's one possible win condition that they could run with.
Balloon is still on the board. Good point, guys. Balloon is something that hasn't been quite picked up, and in a format where not everybody has Musketeer or Minions or Princess.
So Three Musketeers isn't picked up either by
No.
anybody. So I imagine if you pick Balloon, you're incentivized to pick Three Musketeers.
I think the reason people are afraid to pick Three Musketeers is that Lightning
is on the
can
table.
show up right after.
Yeah. So whichever team will pick Lightning, that might just mean that just go pick Lightning first, right?
Yeah.
Because Lightning has different functions other than Three Musketeers, right? And especially, I almost wonder Reddit Alpha might want to just pick that up now because you know that they have Inferno Tower.
Yep.
So
I agree. And also, even just look at some of their other cards, right? Ice Wizard, Princess, Hog Rider. Like, there's a lot of options for good Lightning targets, especially the Ice Wizard, right?
Yeah.
Which is, if they have Ice Wizard and Inferno Tower and you could Lightning both of those.
Giant.
Chicken Bob takes Goblins. All right. Now, remember, that's crazy. Silent has Zap. So there's no Zap in either of Reddit Alpha's decks. They don't have Zap, so Goblin becomes a much more interesting card.
So the big question now is, if you don't have Zap, would you want to pick something like Spear Goblins or Goblins, or do you want to go ham and pick something like Sparky and Goblin Barrel, right? Like, do you want to take a safer option, or do you want to bet on the fact that now that Zap is a missing tool, Sparky all of a sudden becomes much more scary?
That's a very good point. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Especially if you start taking away things like Ice Spirit and Skeletons, then you don't even have good, cheap options to drop in front of it. And you can force the opponents to play expensive decks where even if you do drop a body in front of Sparky, it's already gaining value by just eliminating it in one go.
Right. That's a really good point. Ooh, especially because how many people are picking, Ice Spirit, right, is off the board. Zap is off the board. Guards is off the board. How many other anti-Sparky cards are there?
Yeah.
It also tests how well these players can understand what substitute cards can be out there. Like, let's say Sparky gets taken off the board, right? Well, you might want to pick up something like Dark Prince that has a shield and can counter Sparky, while just being kind of a useful card all on its own. Guards was 0101 in chat asked as guards were the fifth pick of Silent.
Yep. And it's interesting that actually now that Fire Spirits is mentioned, it's interesting that so much time was spent picking, but Fire Spirits were not picked up by Silent, because by far, watching the Super Magic Cup, the number one way to push through guards is Fire Spirits.
It's a very good point, actually. Yeah, but actually, that's a great pick for Reddit Alpha, the very late in the draft, to get a hard counter to one of Silent's early picks.
Yes.
I mean, drafting is a very interesting format because it forces you to kind of go, oh man, like what else can I do? You might want to pick some real obvious cards like Zap and Poison early, but
Wow, I think we're gonna need to go to the second.
we're almost actually done. We're over halfway through the draft because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13 picks have already been made by Silent, and 12 picks by Reddit Alpha, including the Fire Spirits.
Radcon says Golem without pump. GG.
We'll see. Barbs have actually not been picked up either. That's a very good one. And in Unending Chaos Gaming mentions in chat that Barbs are still on the board. Tombstone is still on the board.
Barbs are an interesting card.
I like Tombstone a lot, though, especially... Well, actually, Prince is off the board for Reddit Alpha, so maybe Silent could take something like Tombstone as a counter to that Prince. And knowing that they have Giant as another good one, right? I wonder if P.E.K.K.A could be picked up. Because check it out, we've got Hog and Golem on Silent side. Reddit Alpha, if they were to pick P.E.K.K.A, maybe there could be some sort of defensive P.E.K.K.A that's really good against a lot of their aggressive attacks.
Pineapple Juice says defense building should be a global available card.
Nah. That's actually the coolest thing about drafting is that every pick is inherently a ban, right? Like, no one else can have the card that you pick.
Have the other drafts going on while these guys play. Otherwise, the stream will last hours, and that is actually a concern.
Yeah, that's why we're testing it out, guys. I mean, that's what we're doing, right? We're testing this thing out. Thanks for joining us on sort of a fun, casual, clan draft event. We want to see how this goes.
Zadian picking up the Lightning, the first L card. Oh, no, Log was picked.
Well, that's the Log, to be fair.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Lightning, Skeletons, and back to Hazard we go. Skeletons are, I think, a pretty good value pick. I mean, it's really hard to not get... Oh, Skeletons over here.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's... And yeah, actually, I think it's a good idea to start the next draft while the first match is playing. So what we might do is...
While these games are
playing and then we'll review the draft afterwards. Yep. I think that's a pretty good idea.
Yep. The other thing, too, is you have to assign these cards between the players.
That's right.
So as we see the decks, I'm going to write down the first letter of the player's name so we know what decks they're playing.
The one thing that we may not be able to put on stream, but we will talk about here in chat, is that once the cards are picked, the clans are going to divide the cards 10 and 10 between their players, and then those players play best chicken bob, chicken bob. It's Hazard too. There we go.
There's a team.
Got him. Yeah, there we go.
Well done, Hazard.
There we go. All right, so Tombstone is still picked, same thing. And then now it goes to Marcel for another pick.
Yeah, it's really interesting to think about Sparky. So Marv11234 says Sparky is an awesome defense choice. It has counter, but it's so OP. And I think the idea of it is actually very true. Sparky on defense, you play it in the back and it has time to charge up. Yeah. And once it comes across, it just does a ton of damage. Even to big bodies, it's actually pretty good because... no matter what, it does a lot of it. It might not one-shot in the big body, but it really, really pushes that health low. Right. The thing is, typically, pushes will come in with Zap, and that makes the Sparky investment really, really bad.
My girl! Big Pekka! Big Pekka comes off the board for Reddit Alpha.
Side, yeah.
And we are 15 picks, only 5 more picks left, and then we are going to get into these games real shortly after.
Yeah.
Barb Hut, Lava Loon. It's interesting, Lava Hound and Balloon are still on the board.
Yeah. Yeah, so all that to say, if you don't have the option to Zap, which is kind of like an infinite range stopper to Sparky, it's actually an incredibly good defensive card. Because how do they stop it from getting its shot off, right?
That's a good point. You know what's crazy? Even though... Oh, no, actually, I'm sorry. Reddit Alpha could play Giant Bowler, but they also have the ability to play something like Pekka Musketeer or Pekka Bowler if they wanted to go just for the biggest, scariest, gnarliest deck imaginable.
Yeah. Do they have the Collector as well? Yeah, they have the Collector.
The Collector? Oh, you're right. They do have the Collector. Wow. I mean, it's just looking at... Here's the thing. They got to build 2 decks. So while you might look at Reddit Alpha's picks and easily go like, oh, here's 8
only
good
one
cards.
person to do it,
only one. Yeah, and then do you really want like a kind of sketchy second deck? Because you really want to win both your games.
Yeah. It should be 2.
I hear people mentioning bans in chat. We don't like bans, personally. Like, we've opted to just not go with bans. I like the pick system where every pick is inherently a ban. But global bans, I think... are kind of bad for the game. Zap exists for a reason. It counters certain cards. The fact alone that you won't see... Ooh, Lava Hound! The fact alone that you won't see Zap in more than one deck out of the tournament, I think provides that ban-style experience. Only one player gets to use Zap, but then only one player gets to use Elixir Collector. Yeah. And I think that's better than having no players use some of the most fundamental cards in the game.
Yes, I agree. I think Reddit Alpha can pick 3 Musketeers now. Lightning is off the board. Actually, Reddit Alpha has Lightning.
Oh, so they could pick 3 Musketeers, and that actually counters the Lava Hound pick right there.
The concern I'm having is right now, how we're looking at it is there's so many meta decks that Reddit Alpha could pick, but by your statement that you made that is very true, only one deck can have Elixir Collector in it.
Right.
And there's a lot of big body meta decks. So where they look strong, the reality is, what are you going to have one Pekka Collector, and then what do you do with the other player's Giant deck, right?
Yeah.
If they're going to run a Pekka deck and then a Giant deck, or a 3 Musketeer deck, they're all expensive. And so I almost think Reddit Alpha might be incentivized to do a cheap cycle beatdown.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But they don't have Hog Rider.
Yeah.
Do they have Miner?
They have mini... Oh, no, they don't have mini Pekka either, though.
Do they have Miner?
They do have Miner.
Okay.
And Mega Minion.
Do they have Poison?
They do not have... They have Fireball, but not Poison.
Fireball.
And Lightning, though, so they can do Minor Lightning, Minor Fireball. They do have some options there. Oh, the dog. Poor puppy next door. We got a dog in the office. Yeah, we have a dog in the office. Yeah. The makeup artist for Rocket League.
Oh.
She brought her lovely dog in, by the way. Chicken Bob, we're waiting on you. Chicken Bob, take a pic.
That's our lava hound out there.
Poor dog. Yeah, that's right. It's the actual. I'm gonna go see what's up with this pupperino.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'll hold it down. They're thinking hard.
Thinking Bob.
Thinking Bob.
Thinking Bob.
Chicken Bob is thinking Bob. I wonder, did you guys hear the dog? Could you guys hear it through the mic? The $100 is for the fantasy bracket that you guys can do. Go ahead, and I believe it was tweeted out.
It is tweeted out. It's on the Twitter channel.
So you can go ahead and download that. And
Chicken Bob fall off the earth. Hazard can pick for Chicken Bob if this is gonna. Hazard can go ahead and pick, I guess, for Chicken Bob. I mean, that's actually the thing that I'm noticing now is that since it's for clans, it kind of doesn't matter who makes the pick. So even though Chicken Bob was picking out of order, it was Hazard.
Lumberjack.
Yeah, we need a timer on this, and if you don't, we're gonna pick for you.
Yeah.
Rage. You get rage.
Rage.
All right, Chicken Bob is picked. So now it goes Marcel P, Hazard, Zadian, Hazard.
Please, dog, commentate for us.
Please, doggo. Big problems in doggo world.
Woof, woof. Woof, woof, woof.
Three Musket, there it is.
Whoa.
Reddit Alpha, I think, by the way, has really set up Silent here. Reddit Alpha is a very prepared clan. They're a clan that likes to, they really kind of plan out their strategy in advance.
Hards.
And I think picking the Lightning early, where'd they pick Lightning? They picked Lightning 3 picks ago.
Yeah.
I think that was a setup where if they could take Lightning first, not only do they counter the Inferno Tower and some of the other stuff, but now they can take 3 Musketeers off the board comfortably.
One of the chatters, and I'm sorry I didn't catch their name, made a very interesting point that the strategy for picking should be first pick the spells, then pick the troops.
Okay, I can see that.
Because if the other team does not realize what you're doing and you get all the spells, then all of a sudden you have all the counters, right?
Yep.
And then you can pick whatever you want. You have freedom to pick Goblin Barrel, Sparky,
Sure.
3 Musketeer, Inferno Tower, or whatever it is.
It's a good feedback, Pineapple Juice. Get a page or whatever. Yeah, this is kind of a very do-it-yourself plan right here. So Zadian, go ahead and make 2 picks. We've got 1 pick of Knight. And I like Knight. So where does Knight go in this world of cards they already have? Perhaps they're picking up Knight.
Knight, 3 Musketeer.
Good point, because they have the 3 Musketeers, but also they have Minor as well. So this is also a very common way to cut off counters to Minor. Right? Like, Silent only has Mini P.E.K.K.A. and Ice Wizard. They don't have a lot of counters to Minor, even though Minor was a first-round pick of Reddit Alpha. I don't see a lot of anti-Minor cards. Actually, I take that back. They have Lumberjack and Valkyrie with their last 2 picks. Barbs as well.
Cool.
Spear Goblins.
Wait, how deep are
We're
we in?
almost done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 2 more picks for Silent. I believe we are almost done. Yeah. So it goes Hazard, Marcel, Chicken Bob, the end.
Pineapple Oju says, I'm Marcus35, by the way. Verification, please.
Well, hey, congratulations, Pineapple Juice, Mr. Marcus35, on being in next week's championship.
What is his seed? I can't remember.
He is the 8th seed. He's in the group of death. He's in the Patriots Clyde level 99 group.
That's unfortunate in some ways, but very fortunate too. A seed is not bad. A seed is really high.
It's really good.
Yeah.
And he's actually won a Super Magical Cup. The challenge, though, is that both Marcus 35 and level 99 are in Silent. So how do they collaborate, basically, to try to be that they're the 2 people to make it out of their group?
Yeah, we talk about this a lot, and it's interesting to think about, do you emphasize making it out of groups, or do you want to actually make a nice
smart pick by Hazard? They have Zap.
Yep.
So
yep.
And remember, Reddit Alpha only has arrows, but they have it for the minions and the minion horde. So already Silent has the ability to, kind of do some zap bait, some arrow baits. If they can get the arrow out of the hands on minions, then they can always throw the Goblin Barrel after.
It's interesting because they have Goblin Barrel, and Hog Rider, so they do have the option to make some weirdo deck that just rushes people down.
Yeah.
And if you don't have Zap, or if you play Collector and you don't have Zap,
yeah,
that could end up hurting a lot.
Let's see. We got 2 final picks here. Marcel P and then Chicken Bob, and we are going to get right into the battles. Make sure to divide up the 10 cards between players and submit to admins. In the spirit of time, admin will not share the lists. Just pick who's... Yeah. Running a little long on the draft time, so we're just gonna make sure this thing moves along quickly. Marcel P, very last one. Skeleton Army? Ho! What's the logic going on? Here's what I think might be going on there. Hog Rider, Mini P.E.K.K.A, both on Silence roster.
They don't have arrows either. Zap is pretty good against Skeleton
gold.
Army, but you really need to...
Got to hit really the middle of it.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Skeleton Army, Syzygy will be remembered. We made our plan thinking we'd see the lists. We made our plan thinking... is he implying that he doesn't quite remember? Oh, Inferno Dragon did get picked.
Okay. Inferno Dragon, the very last pick of the draft. Awesome.
Well, even if you can't see the list, you have to...
All right, so let's take a look. Let's also remember, guys, so while they're figuring out the decks, they're going to quickly split up the 10 cards between them, and we are going to take a look again at the bracket for next week's championship event. So if you're just tuning in, next week, the Season 2 championships will be on October 15th, noon Pacific, same time as always. This is the top 16 players that we're playing in next week's bracket. And if you'd like to win $100, go ahead to our Twitter account, download this bracket, fill it out yourself in, MS Paint, type it in, whatever you want. What you need to do is mark who's going to finish first and second in each group, seed those players into the top round, and then show who's going to go all the way to the end and win. We have, let's see, Rainey's bracket has Procol taking it down over Patriots in the finals.
Patriots too.
Yeah, with Naruto and Trainer Chris going pretty deep. I have Clyde winning with Patriots and Marcel P going pretty deep. And of course, in today's tournament, you can see both Marcel P and Zadian on the same team. And they're going to be opponents, though, next week in Spell Valley. And of course, who do we have here representing Silent? Hazard and Chicken Bob, both who didn't quite make it. But there are two Silent representatives in Marcus 35 and Level 99 in next week. Oops, there we go.
Marcus 35 says, going to prove on Saturday I wasn't just a fluke. I actually don't think you were a fluke, Marcus 35. I think you are really, really, really good. I just think that it was tough playing Giant Poison in a field of players in the Super Mario Cup who knew Giant Poison was a thing. Right? Yeah. And were very intentional about playing against Giant Poison. I think that's one of the things about Super Mario Cup is it makes the players toughen up and deal with the meta no matter how much they complain about it. Right? Because they say, well, I want to win at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how I feel about this deck. Eventually, I want to build something that can beat it. No matter how terrible I think the deck ends up being, the reality is, if I'm going to have to play tons of Giant Poison, I need to build a deck that can beat it. And that's why I think we see so many interesting decks in the Super Mario Cup, because the players are forced. They're put in a situation where they have to face reality, right? They have to figure out how to win.
Yeah. Let's getting caught up on what's going on in chat.
How long do we have?
How long do we have?
You have until yesterday.
Like, so we got 4 more minutes before these deck lists are submitted here.
That's what I said, Marcus. I said you weren't a fluke also.
All right, here we go. So let's talk about Zadian and Marcel P have submitted their lists. So let's actually we'll give a few minutes because I don't want to read out loud what they're doing while Silent's still building their decks. Cool. So Zadian and Marcel P have submitted their 2 decks. We're gonna let Silent submit their 2 decks. We'll talk about them, and they're gonna start picking real soon here.
Did they submit that in secrecy?
Say what?
Did they submit those decks in secrecy?
They did, and but they're gonna be shared between the 2 so that they can pick. Yeah.
After they're submitted. Cool. All right, go to
Yeah, definitely. Oh, if you want to fill out the bracket, we got some questions in chat. Here's a few things you got to do. Go to our Twitter, download bracket, fill it out, tweet it back at us at Super Magical Cup. In order to fill it out, pick who's going to finish first and second in each group, and then move those players over to the top 8 by what group they finished in. So if you look at like Rainey's, right, he has Patriots in level 99 moving out of Builder's Workshop. BW1 is Builder's Workshop number 1. Patriots goes there. BW2 is level 99, so it goes there at the bottom of the bracket. So keep making sure that you assign the numbers from the group to where they go in the top 8, and then you just pick who wins from each round.
Could you go to Marcel P's deck so I could write it down?
Of course.
On Discord.
Oh, I'm sorry, yeah.
Thank you. My deck list.
Oh, you have...
The other deck list?
Zadian's up here. They each get 10 cards, and they can build kind of whatever they want with those 10 cards.
So which belongs to... So. Oh, okay. I see. He clarified it.
Carlos Silva thinks C. McHugh is going to end up taking it home. I think that's a pretty reasonable choice here. We also have... Who else? Polo, who's one of the other admins who helps us out and running this event. He has Patriots going all the way with over Woody, which is... I mean, that's a pretty safe bet, right? That's the number 1 and number 2 players on the leaderboard against each other. I'm expecting some upsets after last time.
Me too.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Oh my god, what? Oh, this one. Oh my god. Oh, what's LT? Is that me, myself?
It's not a blind pick?
They...
Oh, it is a blind pick by this statement, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. So Lucas is answering. They submit whoever they want to play first. Oh, let's get back here. Sorry.
So basically, both teams will choose which player will go up first.
Yeah, so basically, okay, the way it works is the second pick, the team that went second gets to say, okay, it'll be Marcus versus, or Marcel versus Hazard or whatever. They get to choose which of their players is playing the other player, the clan from the other player first. So they'll be like Zadian against Chicken Bob or whatever.
Call somebody out, or does
Zadian versus Chicken Bob? There we go. All right, we got our first matchup is Zadian versus Chicken Bob. So go ahead. Go ahead and request. It'll be Zadian versus Chicken Bob for the first matchup, and they're playing best 2 out of 3. And then let's go ahead and let's see. I'm gonna let the other 2 clans know they're gonna be drafting. And Super Magicals, are you ready to draft? Please start the draft while these games are being played.
So it looks like Zadian's deck is going to be...
There we go. After the draft, first match. So we have Zadian versus Chicken Bob. I'm excited to see how this shakes out.
Mega Minion, Giant, Collector, Bowler, Rocket.
Let's see. I'm excited to see this game take off. Here we go, Sheebs. We have the silent clan member hanging out in chat.
Arrows.
Here we go. We are right. Ooh. Took a little bit to load up. All right, first match, Chicken Bob versus Zadian. The first card off the board is Chicken Bob's Princess behind the King Tower. Bowler is played in the opposite lane by Zadian, moving down there.
So it's interesting, Zadian actually has access to the Collector, the Giant, and the Bowler. So I would expect that's the deck that he's running, is a Giant Bowler Collector deck, especially because it's a deck that Zadian has a lot of experience playing, and there it is.
Check out those minions. The arrows do come down.
So this means that likely the minion... Oh, he's playing it in the same deck, so we talked about
and the arrows are already out. He baited the arrows with the opponent not being sure what happened. Let's go ahead and get... Where's Minion Horde?
Right. Wow, look at how effective that Minion Horde is. Was able to clean up the Musketeer too. Definitely bought their elixir's worth. Did a lot of damage to the tower as well.
I think that was a great play by Chicken Bob to have both Minions and Minion Horde in the same deck, knowing that the opponent would have arrows for sure. Oh, guessing Lava Hound's a good point. They have Lava Hound and they've got a Tombstone in there. This looks like a Lava Hound deck to me out of Chicken Bob.
So what's also really interesting is that Zadian does not have any other spell available to him other than arrows. I mean, he has Rocket, but that's not really going to be... He has Rocket and Lightning, but that's really not going to help him in the grand scheme of things.
I can see there being a Lightning. I can see arrows and Lightning being the two spells in his deck, with Fireball Rocket being the one in Zadian, or in Marcel P's deck, because Marcel P is such a defensive Rocket Cycle sort of player that I bet you he wanted the Fireball Rocket deck.
Yeah, well, it's just interesting because I can't see a world where you would... effectively, so you don't have Zap, you don't have Fireball in your card choice because Marcel P took Fireball, so there really is not any other great spell against Minion Horde after your arrows are down. So that basically means unless Zadian wants to play slightly suboptimally, the minions are free every single time.
Right, definitely.
Ooh. Okay, yeah, he's gonna. So Minion Horde can come out right now and clean up the Bowler and the Musketeer if he feels.
And I think they're gonna try and kill that Musketeer. Really, oh, the Musketeer goes down. That leaves this Giant Bowler push super vulnerable to this Minion Horde. The Mega Minion comes down, but that Minion Horde has already earned more than 5 elixir worth of value right there.
Is not gonna get anywhere.
Great counter by Chicken Bob there. And of course, then again, what's gonna kill the Mega Minion? I think that Princess is hoping to get her a little piece of it. Oh, a little too far away. The Mega Minion was held on the left side.
One swing.
Pretty interesting. Nice. So we have a Golem Minions Tombstone deck out of Chicken Bob, and we've got a pretty classic Giant Prince Bowler deck. But the Giant Prince Bowler deck, despite being a little more recognizable, doesn't seem like it's having necessarily a massive ton of success. One thing that's interesting is that by having all these big tanky troops in the same deck, it makes it easy for Chicken Bob to poison the collector and not really be worried about it, right?
Yeah, Golem Poison demonstrating its prowess right now. I mean, it's one of the most old school combinations that we see in the Super Magical Cup, headed up by, I think Ryguy was the first one in the second Super Magical Cup to use it. And you can just see how much damage that does. Big problem is Giant and Bowler are huge health point tanks, and so they're going to be able to convert a lot of elixir here. Oh, this
looks like a tower going down.
No, you got Giant Prince.
Now that is game one of the series. So Zadian and Chicken Bob play again, best of 3. Both players, Chicken Bob and Zadian, may switch out cards in their deck, but they've already picked which 10 cards they can use. So Chicken Bob is locked in with 8 of those cards. He has 2 cards on the side that he can he can mix up.
Swap out. So the interesting thing to think about is that Golem Poison is a great combo and it does a lot of damage to the tower, but when you have bowlers and giants who have tons of hit points, that poison is not going to wipe those bowlers off the field, and you have a Golem 8 cost card that's not doing any damage to the bowlers. And so what happened on the counter push was a huge double bowler Prince Giant coming across the field, and a Mega Minion to help clean out the minion drops that you had. Really bad spot for...
Oh, go ahead. I'm listening.
Just really rough spot to be put in.
I actually think that the problem there was Bowler. Bowler was more problem than Giant. The Giant didn't seem that strong to me, and actually a lot of the Musketeer and Mega Minion seemed fine, right? Yeah. But the big problem there was that there wasn't a good way for Chicken Bob to get rid of Bowlers, and the Bowlers built up. And there was a situation where guards came down, and the guards just got like completely rolled.
Yeah, it's interesting to think about. So if we had the post for
Zadian request.
So did Silent post their deck so that I can figure out what they're running?
I'm not sure. Oh, here they. Yes, Silent Chat did it. Yeah, here they are. Yeah, we got them right here.
So Chicken Bob is running Golem as we saw. Golem.
And of course, and here we go. And Chicken Bob is allowed to switch out some cards, so it'll be interesting to see what he switched between these two things. Zadian is probably still playing this Giant Bowler list, and what's interesting is we'll see how Chicken Bob can adapt, knowing what he's going up against now. Doop.
Princess.
Oh, this is finals. see, do clan draft. Clan draft.
All right.
So right away, he's going for a giant bowler push here. Great placement of the minions there to get a lot of damage on that bowler.
Yeah, you're right. The big thing that Chicken Bob has to watch out for is how do you eliminate the bowler? Mega Minion's not going to get anywhere.
That princess. The princess being supporting fire while also being out of range is going to help a lot, I think. Now, I wonder if Chicken Bob maybe switched his golem out for the Lava Hound.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and take a look. Chicken Bob does not have the Lava Hound as his choice. The Lava Hound,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
it belongs
7, 8.
to...
Actually, they haven't been specific
Hazard.
about what they're... that's fine. Chicken Bob still has poison. They actually only picked 8 cards each. I don't know what the sideboard... No, well, whatever, we'll figure it out. Yeah. So the golem... We actually haven't seen the golem in the second game. It's possible that he switched the golem out. Because they do have Lava Hound in their team.
All right.
Uh-oh. Oh, no! So, so far, Zadian, I think, had the strong play with going with this really strong giant bowler deck.
Prince.
But this is most of their early picks. I mean, Mega Minion, Giant, Collector, Bowler, Musketeer are like almost all of their top picks. So it means Marcel P is playing a deck made up of their late round picks, which may or may not actually be that strong. We'll have to see.
So what's interesting is I think Zadian is very... This is the deck... Pretty much the deck that he would run in a Super Magical Cup, right? He's very adept at playing... Oh, the Golem's here!
When was Baby Dragon picked?
No,
they picked it... No, they didn't pick Baby Dragon.
Yeah, I don't think Baby Dragon was a pick.
How are you doing?
Please! Disqualify.
What's the Baby Dragon? Well, yeah, super deep. I think Zadian's gonna have to take an L on this game. They're gonna lose this game. This is an auto loss for Zadian. I think they didn't draft Baby Dragon.
Wrecked.
Yeah, that's an L. That's an L for Zadian.
Yep.
So Chicken Bob is gonna win this round. I don't know if they even know it yet. And we're gonna go to game 3 here. That'll show Zadian not to pick undrafted cards.
Well, I do want to see if they actually win it.
I do want to see. I think this Golem's got a good shot at winning regardless.
But Zadian used all 8 of his cards before, right? And he didn't have Baby Dragon.
They didn't pick it. No one picked it. Baby Dragon was not a selected card.
In the last game that they played, Zadian didn't have Baby Dragon in his deck, right? So that means he swapped it out.
Yeah, you're right. He took something else out in.
The question is why? Why would you even do that?
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay. Zadian. I'm gonna say it in chat. I'm gonna be the one to type it. Zadian loses. Oh, whatever. Baby Dragon wasn't drafted. Baby D was not drafted. Nope. Game 3. Oh, no, not alternate keyboard. That's not what I wanted. No. Game 3. Zadian request.
Wow, he thought they took it.
And and take out Baby Dragon.
That's funny.
Giving Silent some hope here.
That's funny.
Baby D, get it out of there.
You
guys did not select it. No, sorry, buddy. Yeah, take a look.
Know what cards
the funny thing is that I'm looking at their cards right here, and they actually had picked 10 cards each. Zadian's 10 cards are Giant, Bowler, Lightning, Arrows, Musketeer, Prince, Elixir Collector. He did say Baby Dragon in his 10 cards, but what does he think that was there? Because they didn't pick Baby Dragon at all.
Interesting. Yeah, the way I did it was I read Marcel P submitted deck and then checked it off, and I just assumed the next half is the one that Zadian can.
We're looking for the 10th card. Your Reddit Alpha's 10th card was Skeleton Army, Spear Goblins, Knight.
Was it Inferno Dragon?
You took Inferno.
Inferno Dragon was
silent. That was silent.
Hold on. Check. I might have made a mistake.
Okay.
Check the because it might have been a double pick.
Well, they didn't list. Yeah, they were Inferno Dragon.
Wait, who?
No, hold on. Wait. I'm sorry. Let me answer this. No. No, that was silent.
No other dragon was picked.
So, by the way, the other draft is going on in the meantime here. So, Pro Cole's going first, picking Inferno Tower. Clark can get mine. We'll catch up with this draft later after all the battles. Reddit Alpha's 20 cards were Minor Mega Minion Mini P.E.K.K.A. Minor Mega Minion Giant, Ice Spirit, Elixir Collector, Bowler, Rocket, Musketeer, Fireball, Arrows, Cannon, Prince, Fire Spirit, Lightning, Skeletons, P.E.K.K.A., 3 Musketeers, Knight, Spear Goblin, Skeleton Army. Like, there was no
D in there.
Yeah, Rocket. Rocket was the card that they took and they'd forgot. How'd they forget about it, Zadian? You're probably playing the card about Zadian. Marcel P's probably playing it, right?
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know.
We're learning a lot about draft formats today, so I'm not against this at all. This is exactly why we want to do these test things. To learn this sort of stuff.
There's a lot of logistics in drafts.
A lot of logistics. So I think we're definitely learning things we can improve upon for the next time. But that is kind of fun. You're not going to sneak one by old Rummy Hammy. I can remember all 40 cards picked. There we go.
All right.
The other draft going off swimmingly.
There's no
Oh, yeah.
He did it to counter Minion Horde.
You know what? Okay, so here was the other option, by the way, that I was thinking about, and I'd love to hear what the chat thinks. My original idea was just to not have clans at all and to have 4 people, and they just draft 10 cards each, and then they play round robin, but that would have been like too many rounds is what I was thinking about. Okay, so here we go. Chicken Bob, perhaps still playing the Golem deck. We're unsure. Zadian, probably still playing that Giant Bowler deck.
Nice. There's a poison on the collector and the tower.
Chicken Bob. We said Cheatin' Bob. What's going on?
Cheating Bob. What? Zadian was a cheater.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
Good fellows. This is a really fun casual event, guys. By the way, we do have prizes for the first place team, but this is mostly just a test of this draft format to see how this one's going to go.
First it was Thinking Bob, then it was Cheating Bob.
Zadian does have Elixir Collector, still fine.
Oh my god, the bowler is too good. There's just no option against the bowler.
You know, if I'm Chicken Bob, I think I would have subbed out Guards or Tombstone or both. Because I think the problem there is that Tombstone is just such a weak card against the bowler that that's the sort of thing you might want to sub out.
Yeah, that's what I would say. One more. Oh!
Oh, he takes it down.
Got him.
Minute 45. This Giant Bowler Prince is definitely pretty strong, but I'm really interested to see what Marcel P is going to play because he's got all the bottom picks here. Like, you know what I mean?
So the question, somebody said in chat, Zadian still brings Baby Dragon with the emotes showing troll. But do we disqualify him if he brought Baby Dragon but doesn't play it? Like, if it's actually just question mark?
I wouldn't know. Yeah, I mean, if I don't know, I guess I don't know, right?
I mean, we could check after
We
the
could
match,
check after, you're right.
But if he doesn't play it, like, do we disqualify him?
They do have cannon. Now I'm checking every card. Like, cannon, they have cannon, they do. They do have cannon. So far, the Golem has actually looked pretty good. Like, Golem's gotten through a lot of damaging pushes. The thing that's been seen like...
Wow, and it pushes back the mini golems.
Yeah. The thing that seems like it's been ace to me is actually the Bowler.
Yeah.
Now, Bowler wasn't necessarily picked
Prince, where are you going?
super early on. I wonder if Bowler should be a much higher pick in something like the finals draft, knowing how good it's going to be here.
Yeah. It definitely, we talked about it, right? Where I feel like the Mega Minion is one half of the way to counter a Bowler really, really effectively. But unfortunately, that is on Zadian's side.
Right, that was a very, very early pick there, so I can understand why, they'd really want to build around it. I'm actually surprised that Mega Minion was the first troop off the board. I mean, Minor was actually the first, but if you think of like traditional two-way cards, right, defense and offense sort of cards, I'm surprised Mega, I mean, it's really good, but maybe they picked it because of how versatile it is, right?
Yes.
Like it goes in so many different decks.
Yeah. All right, so it looks like Zadian is beating Chicken Bob down the block.
Giant Bowler Prince. So Chicken Bob is defeated 2-1 by Zadian. The next match will be Marcel P versus Hazard. And if Marcel P beats Hazard, then Reddit Alpha wins the match, moves on to the finals. If Hazard wins, then it'll be Zadian versus Hazard as the tiebreaker round.
All right, let's see.
So here we go. Let's see. Hazard request Marcel. Actually, I think it's probably the reverse. Marcel request Hazard, since they're the leading clan.
Yep. Chicken Bob becomes Losing Bob.
But that's it now. But remember, consider that all those cards are off the board. Every single card you just saw in Zadian's deck cannot be in Marcel P's deck. So there's you're not gonna see a giant. You're actually not gonna see. Think of all the cards we just saw.
Here's Marcel P's list. It's Minor, P.E.K.K.A., 3 Musketeers, Ice Spirit, Skeleton, Fireball, Fire Spirits, and Knight.
Yeah.
So likely what he's going to be doing is a P.E.K.K.A 3 Musketeer deck, and then having Miner, Knight, and just mini tank kinds of things.
Check this out, guys. Look at this. Every card you see in this list, all 16 cards here, will not be in the next game. So the next game cannot include Collector, Poison, Giant Prince, Bowler, Mega Minion, like Minions, Prince. I mean, there's so many cards that are off the board that I'm really interested to see.
Every single strong air unit is
Yeah. And you know what's really tough is that Chicken Bob is a Rocket Cycle player, but so is Marcel P. So I wonder how much competition there was trying to pick up those crucial spell cycle cards.
Chicken Bob comes in chat. Damn, I wish I had Pump.
Yeah, no, how good is Pump? I think Elixir Collector might be like first pick, first round or whatever. So there we go. Game 1 of the second match of this Reddit Alpha. And let's switch these out because, you know, these cards are not going to be in here.
Yep, all right. Hazard versus Marcel P. So Silent is down 1 match. Chicken Bob let Hazard down, and now Hazard has to clean up for him.
Right. So Marcel P starts with 3 Musketeers. Do you think he went with P.E.K.K.A 3 Musketeers?
Yeah, probably. P.E.K.K.A 3 Musketeer plus mini tank. That's tough.
That's a tough
Fireball.
push there on the other side. Oh, he does have Fireball, but will the Barbs take out the Musketeer after the Ice Spirit? The Ice Wizard is helping slow it down.
That's actually a pretty good defense.
It's a really good defense, but he loses the Musketeer and actually takes a little bit more damage. Not bad overall, but I think Hazard will gladly take that 1,000 damage.
Yeah, it's tough because Marcel P's first choice was the 3 Musketeer, and then Hazard was able to punish on the side where there was only 1 Musketeer.
Right.
And then use Valkyrie on the right side. So this just goes to show the combination of Valkyrie Hog Rider in terms of 4 and 4, offense, defense, just 2 parts of the triangle defense, really making it.
Yeah. And you can see this is a very troop-heavy deck. Hazard's shown us 5 troops already.
Ugh. That was a disgusting use of cards.
And yeah, not a great defense there. I mean, he took another 600 damage. That defensive Miner is not quite what you want. And you can see this is what happens when you... I imagine that both teams had like an A list, right? They're like, oh man, look at the sweet decks we can put together with these early picks. But then when it comes down to making the second deck, they're going... Ooh, it gets a little tougher. Marcel P definitely has a direct strategy, right? He's going to do P.E.K.K.A 3 Musketeers. So he's got like... A combination of cards. Is there only Fireball in the deck? For spells?
Yeah, only Fireball. I mean, Ice Spirit can be a pseudo thing.
Sure. Ooh, that's going to be tough for Big P.E.K.K.A there.
That's unfortunate that Marcel P had to match up against Hazard in that sense.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
The Hog Rider's going through it. The Musketeer didn't immediately lock onto him, so it gave him a little bit of an advantage there.
Ice Spirit is the big savior in that situation. And we talked about these 1 Elixir cards. Ice Spirit and Skeleton are both in control of Reddit Alpha.
Right.
And so they're going to be able to play... Okay, the Zap actually comes out. That's going to be pretty important. Ooh. But the Musketeer tags on a lot of damage just because it happened to lock onto the tower before the troops dropped.
Still, though, Hazard has a good 500 or 400 point lead on Marcel P in terms of tower damage, and as we close in on overtime and Hazard has the Hog Rider, he might... Oh no! He got caught right at the split time! 1 hit! Oh, the Ice Spirit saves the day again!
And you have to... I mean, Barbarian Hog Rider combos, especially right at the bridge, is not something you see very often, but for 9 Elixir, punishing a 3 Musketeer drop, do it every time.
Yes.
And it's interesting that it seems like Hazard is almost familiar with that trade. He sees it and is like, oh, I know this is going to be really worth it.
The Raged Hog Rider comes in. 1, 2, 3,
oh my
4, 5. No! Hazard takes it with 9 seconds to go with the surprise go on the right side.
The left side tower was the one that was super exposed.
I know. That was almost a full health tower that went down there.
Rage Hog Rider. And, you know, we saw King K play a Lumberjack Hog Rider deck.
Right.
It's so interesting to see that Hazard somehow has this pseudo super ghetto, but really, really great Hog Rider combos.
Yeah.
He had Valkyrie, he had Hog Rider, he had Barbarians, and he had Lumberjack, and he used all 4 of these cards in a very synergistic manner. That's crazy. Hazard, I don't know. It just seems like he just knew what he was doing. I mean, this crazy draft. That was an incredibly strong deck, and that is not a meta deck.
Yeah, like here's the thing. Not at all. Hazard is known as one of the best, kind of deck builders, adaptable players in the game, and this is why he took a mishmash of somewhat random cards and were able to put together brand new pushes that we don't really see that often against a deck that's kind of known. I mean, that's not a perfect P.E.K.K.A 3 Musketeers deck, but that's clearly a strategy.
Yeah. So now it has to be Hazard. Oh, they're playing the best of 3. But if Hazard moves on, then Hazard has to face Zadian. And then the question is, how do you play against the Bowler deck with a Hog Rider?
And Barbs.
How does that happen?
Well, if anyone can do it, I think we're going to have to rely on Mr. Hazard to show us. So we're going to have the P.E.K.K.A. Three Musketeers deck up here for Marcel, unless he switched out P.E.K.K.A., which is very possible.
Here comes Lumberjack Hog Rider. That's a tough push.
That's a gnarly push.
Oh, you did. Okay, the Hog Rider's still got to get good 2 swings.
Yes. I mean, those Three Musketeers are defensively going to get a lot of value, right? They killed a whole bunch of stuff, but Marcel P, once again, did take a lot of damage on his tower.
We really have to focus in on the elixir advantage, and this is rough. You got to play the Valkyrie, but it's gonna get frozen.
Oh, the predictive Three Musketeers were really, or the predictive Ice Spirit there was really good at stopping that Valkyrie.
Yeah. The Ice Spirit will get caught behind Musketeers, and so it really stays a long time in that area. It makes it really uncomfortable to drop a card in there. You pretty much have to wait for the Musketeers to attack onto the tower.
Great miner, because that one Spear Goblin's going to go ahead and start chipping away there while the Lumberjack fights.
And probably the Hog Rider to assist this Lumberjack.
Here comes the Hog. It's not enough for Three Musketeers, so he's got to send down the Knight early.
He's fine with that. That's going to get 4 swings, I think. A good zap, and that's going to earn it 1 more.
Oh,
there it is.
Wow.
Oh, man.
This is fun. This is why I like drafting. Look at these interesting combos.
And this time, the thing about it is this time Marcel P doesn't have the 3 Musketeers off the counter push.
Right.
And so Hazard is going to be able to get away with just dropping the Valkyrie.
However, for Marcel P, Valkyrie's off the board.
Oh, no!
With Valk off the board, now's the best time to play your 3 Musketeers because you might actually be able to get them to the tower safely.
Yes. Question is, you have to play them at the bridge if you're going to want to do that. And do you want to have the 3 Musketeers just there or behind the King Tower where you can get a lot of elixir? It almost needs to be where Marcel P plays 3 Musketeers, and while the 3 Musketeers are pushing, the Valkyrie is played and eliminated at that time. Otherwise, the cycle just will never line up.
Does Valk come down here on the left side? I think Valk has to drop over there if he has it.
Ice Spirit is going to stop the Inferno Tower. It's going to be Barbarians.
Oh no, that right side tower goes down with 45 seconds left. There's
still a lot of time.
Still plenty of time.
Yeah, that Fireball is going to earn the Hog a few swings, but really, Hazard doesn't have time to work down the left side tower, I think, unless he gets some picture-perfect Lumberjack Hog Rider push.
We would have said that last game, too, right before Hazard pulled that thing off.
Yeah, and the problem is now you have extended drop zone and a 3 Musketeer deck. Marcel P can opt to just let a tower go and take the second tower by dropping 3 Musketeers aggressively. Sure. He's going to play defensively. I think that's the right
love the Lumberjack push of the Valkyrie. Did you see that? Like the Lumberjack pig push. He's going to slide it over, just like, the Lumberjack, now we got a spot. Yeah, elbow room. So Lumberjack pushed the Valkyrie right into the 3 Musketeers to help, swing them up a little bit. Oh, this is good.
Yeah, I don't think it's possible. I think Marcel P, or rather, I think Hazard had to focus in on taking that right side tower because it was just, I think it was a little too, like, fool me once, shame on me, fool me twice, or, whatever it is, right? And I think that Hazard tried to take too much health off that tower.
So now it's Marcel for game 3. Game 3 between, now here's the thing, if Marcel P wins this game, Reddit Alpha wins. They advance to the finals. If Hazard wins, we have to go to a tie-break match between Zadian and Hazard for the winner. And you're right. I think that of all 4 decks we've seen, Zadian has the nastiest deck, right? Like, he's got like a giant bowler Prince deck, with Elixir Collector, no less. Uh-oh.
He brought it out. He brought the law out.
But he's bringing it out.
He let the dog out. We found out who let the dog out.
Hazard's letting the dog, but he's going up against a 3 Musketeer deck. So, like, that seems very dangerous to me because P doesn't have poison, I don't think, either.
Oh, boy. And I think the miner is in control of Reddit Alpha, is that right?
That is correct. No, you're right. You're right.
And so you're not going to be able to Lava Hound miner it.
Maybe he wanted the Lumberjack play?
Yeah, we'll see.
I take that back. Well, here's the thing, though. This is not great, but Hazard does have Valkyrie, so if you can force the 3 Musketeers out early, wow, Ice Spirit plus the Fire Spirit there.
3 elixir combo that does insane amounts of damage. Ice Spirit, Fire Spirits, both the spirits, just these low cost, really effective cards. And I think that's one of the biggest things that changed Clash Royale's meta is just the introduction of these low cost effective cards, whether it be the legendaries or the spirits, really changes the way the game is played. Right. Because now you can play expensive decks, but have an effective cheap defense.
Absolutely.
Or have really great cycle. I mean, it's just these low cost effective cards are really what dictates how the pace of the game is going to move.
Absolutely. Nice play there. That unanswered miner comes in just at the right time. There's not a lot of great answers for Hazard to counter, so it looks like he's just going to take the damage, I think.
Yeah, 3 elixir for 500. is...
I got to give credit, though, to that late Three Musketeers pick
here
by
it
Red
comes.
Alpha. They really knew what they were doing with
Yeah.
regards to picking up the Lightning first and then getting the Three Musketeers right after.
Big thing is when this Lava Hound pops, it's going to go...
On the Valkyrie, maybe? Oh, those pups are getting some damage in there. The Valkyrie does get up close because of the rage, but doesn't grab both of them.
Yeah. 510 to 1.3k, and I really think Hazard's deck is struggling a little bit.
Yes.
I think the lack of Miner, and almost I would wonder if Princess would have been a great choice too, to shell out the Three Musketeers for as long as the Lava Hound stays alive, but just not any options to eliminate the Three Musketeers.
Then again, though, that left tower is half dead, right?
Yes.
And if he ever, for any reason, ignores that thing for a little bit of time, great job countering the Miner. I do think that he could pull that off. You can easily take 1,300 damage off a tower. The problem is, how do you get rid of those Musketeers on defense like that?
Yes. Okay, he's going to try to use Barbarians, but I think...
Fireball comes in.
Yep, we're going to have the Fireball, and he still is cycled to the Spirits, and they're so low cost that he could just play them here.
Great zap! Great zap! And the Goblins are in there helping the tank. They're swarming at the Musketeer
but the
got
Fire
defended.
Spirits!
The Fire Spirits cleaning up. 10 seconds left. Marcel P takes the tower. And
the Lumberjack is making the sprint.
He's gone.
Run
By the Knight.
Stop by the Knight.
And Marcel P takes it. No. Both Marcel P and Zadian win their matches. Reddit Alpha advances to the finals against the winner of Super Magicals and a team of former Clash Wars players that we had arranged.
Chicken Bob says, I told Hazard not to play Lava Hound. No.
No. It's okay. So, congrats Reddit Alpha on winning their match and moving to the finals.
They're arguing. Hazard and Chicken Bob are going to fight.
Bruh.
Fight.
No, they're great.
Fight.
Silent, by the way, Silent is a great new guild. They've actually been around for a while, but they rebranded a little bit ago. Hazard made the top 8 of the Toronto live event. Chicken Bob has placed second in a Super Magical Cup before. Both are very talented. And Silent has 2 representatives at next week's Season 2 Championship. You can see... here, Marcus 35 and level 99, the 8th seed and the 16th seed are in the same group. Both are members of Silent and are looking to represent the guild or the clan next week at the Super Magical Cup Season 2 Championships.
Man, I actually think that I really want to see that. I really want to see a team lose a 2v2 and then they just start fighting each other. They just start yelling at each other.
Nah. All right.
I told you not to play the Lava Hound.
No, that's fine. Actually, I think the Lava Hound would have been a fine play if he had poison. But actually, Chicken Bob had poison, so he couldn't really make it happen. If you had an answer to Three Musketeers, I think you could have gotten it. So let's go up and check how this draft is going. The one between Super Magicals and Clash Wars.
I wonder if SMC host has posted the final drafts in the.
I believe he did actually in Discord.
In Discord for the new drafts.
Oh, not yet. We're just because it's not done yet.
It's not done yet.
Yeah, they're picking right now. So that's why we're gonna catch up. Yeah. So the first overall pick by Pro Cole was Inferno Tower. Clark Kent goes second and picks Miner. The Flash goes Bowler. Naders picks Elixir Collector, Poison. Flash goes Zap. Clark Kent Lava Hound. He has Miner and Lava Hound with Clark Kent's first 2 picks. Pro Cole goes Golem, Fireball. Weird that they're going for real oddball. Giant doesn't come off early.
Yeah. Huh.
That's wild. Giant's actually still on the board when both Golem and Lava Hound get picked. Okay, so Golem, Fireball, Mini P.E.K.K.A, Guards, Mega Minion, Ice Spirit, Miner's already been taken, Goblins for Flash, Musketeer for Clark Kent, Giant for... You want to start? Let's write these down. Let's go ahead and do that.
All right. So we're going to have...
They're pretty deep into the draft, too. So, yeah, they're almost done with their draft, so we can get in these games real quick. All right, so let's go back to the top, and I'll read them off for you. We'll do one at a time. The Clash Wars team, which is... Oh, by the way, Hazard says, thanks, guys, Super Magical. That was fun. Hazard, thank you so much for joining us. Make sure to follow Silent Gaming on Twitter. Make sure to follow Hazard at Hazard_CR. And, of course, Chicken Bob is Squawkbot. He has his own YouTube channel where you can learn how to play Rocket Cycle with the best of them. Thank you very much for Silent for participating. They, great clan, a lot of fun. And, of course, 2 of the representatives will be there next week. Yes.
Clark Kent representing Super Magical? Super
Magical. So it's Pro Cole and the Flash are a Clash Wars team. There's actually, I think they might have left the guild this week, but yeah, they're Clash Wars. And Clark Kent is Super Magicals. So Clash Wars starts off with Inferno Tower. Super Magicals gets Miner. Bowler to Clash Wars. Collector and Poison to Super Magicals.
EC. Collector and Poison?
Yes.
Cool.
Zap goes to Clash Wars.
Zap.
Lava Hound to Super Magicals, the SMs.
LH.
Clash Wars gets Golem and Fireball.
Bowler Fireball?
Golem Fireball.
Oh, weird. Golem Fireball.
Mini P.E.K.K.A. for Super Magicals. Guards.
MPEC.
And Guards for Clash Wars.
Guards.
Mega Minion for Super Magicals. And Ice Spirit.
M-Min Ice Spirit for Super Magicals?
Yes, as well. Goblins to Clash Wars.
Yeah.
Musketeer to Super Magicals. Clash Wars gets Giant and Lightning. Giant and Lightning, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Princess to Super Magicals. Arrows to Clash Wars. Super Magicals gets Ice Wizard and Barbarians.
Ice W, Barb. Okay.
Three Musketeers for...
Clash Wars?
Yeah, and they took Lightning already, so that's a pretty cool pick.
Yeah.
Hog Rider for Super Magicals.
Okay.
Tombstone and Skeletons for Clash Wars.
They're going all spooky on it.
Spooky, real Doot armies.
Yeah.
Skeletons, Minions for Super Magicals, Mirror for Clash Wars. I like that. That's a different pick.
Is Rocky going to come in?
Maybe. It's still on the board. Fire Spirits and Valkyrie for Missionators.
Fire Spirits and Valk.
Yeah, for Super Magicals. Yeah, for the double pick.
Yeah.
And then Prince Clash Wars. Wow, Archer. Okay, I'm sorry. Prince for Clash Wars. Rocket for Super Magicals. Taking Rocket away from the Mirror players. Clash Wars had Mirror. They take Rocket early. Procol takes Archers. I'm interested. I'm down. I'm interested with some Archer play. And that brings us up to the present time.
Present time.
So here we go. How many picks how deep are we into these picks now? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we're actually at the very end of the draft here, I think, already.
Yeah, just maybe one more round? 2 more rounds?
I'm not sure. I think Procol gets to pick twice. He actually has a double pick right now. So Archers was the first, but then he also gets to pick a second time.
Nice to see that the players are talking about their match.
Yeah, they're catching up. So let's see what they had to say here in chat. Hazard is saying that getting the arrows versus the minion spam was a really key pick that really prevented them from living out a lot of the strategies they wanted to do. Procol gets Spear Goblins as the other choice there. So Clash Wars have a very Procol setup. Very pro. Is that wordplay? Is that a pun? I'm getting punned on?
Whoa.
All right.
Oh, that's interesting. Did they pick Lava Hound? Super Magical stole Lava Hound.
That's right. Super Magicals actually have Lava Hound and Miner right now.
Yeah, and Procol is a dedicated Lava Hound player.
I wonder if that was purposefully done because Procol's sort of known as like a Lava Hound specialist, that they went ahead and grabbed Lava Hound very shortly after Clash Wars picks Golem. And if there's any card that's really similar to Lava Hound, it's actually Golem, right? It's both expensive, it's slow. Squawkbot actually. So Chicken Bob is saying in chat about the last match, Marcel P took Rocket and Miner, so I couldn't play his best deck. That's something where drafting
strategy.
Yeah, drafting is definitely something that rewards flexibility. People who can play a lot of different stuff out there. It is now Clark Kent's pick.
Okay, so you got Spear Gobs. And Spear Gobs to the thing.
Oh sure. Oh yeah.
S Gob.
What cards are still on the board here? That any crazy ones? Ice Wizard, Ice Spirit are already picked. Three Musketeers, Lightning, Poison, Fireball. Was Fireball still picked? Fireball was picked very early. Minion, who has arrows? Does anyone have arrows?
Magicals.
Oh no, Clash Wars has arrows.
Oh yeah.
So he's actually picking Minion Horde in the face of an enemy that has both Zap and arrows. I don't know about that pick. I don't know. So now it's the Flash and then Nader's Flash.
Yeah. Take log.
Log. Aussie Rocks in chat is saying, looking forward to seeing Pro Cole playing something different, which is an Lava Hound. There we go. D-Wade has a great Furnace is actually out there. And in a world where everyone can't play Poison, I think spawner decks are actually, or at least, here's a good idea, right? Let's say you do what Reddit Alpha did, and you have your giant Prince Bowler deck, like boom, 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 first pick. You got to lay it up. What could you pick late in the round that is a good strategy that the opponent would struggle with? Well, you could probably pick Goblin Hut and Furnace and Barbarian Hut. And in a world where people don't really have answers to this, you could just sit there and play a spawner deck, right? Maybe, right?
Yeah, possibly.
Might work. Especially if you can grab something like Rocket. Like if you have the Rocket, then it's like, okay, cool. I don't have to worry about getting my stuff rocketed off the earth, right?
Yeah. Rocket and Poison actually exist on Super Magical side, so they could not even get poisoned, which is another really, really big card against spawners.
I gotcha. You're right, yeah, especially if you can grab, I think, I agree with you when you're saying earlier about picking spells early. I do think that, like, drafting spells is, like, probably a premium thing, because there's only, like, 10 spells or something like that. And, of course, only one card does what Zap does. Only one card does what Poison does in terms of their defense or arrows or whatever.
You will very rarely find a deck that doesn't have one spell at least.
Yeah.
It says your match picks were perfect. Arrows against minions.
Read it louder.
Hazard says, Zadian, your match picks were perfect. Arrows against minions. Giant avoids Inferno.
Yeah.
And yeah, they did end up having some really great matchups and stuff like that.
Agree. Naders gets Log for the first pick, and then he gets a second pick as well. So what cards are unavailable? X-Ray, all cards are available. All cards are available, but can't pick anything that someone else has picked.
Log, huh?
Tesla is kind of a weird choice here, but I wonder what the Flash is looking at. So what matches up? Minion Horde, Miner, Lava Hound, Mini P.E.K.K.A., Mega Minion, Ice Wizard, Princess. Actually, there's a lot of cards that Super Magicals have chosen that are pretty uniquely weak to Tesla Tower. It wouldn't surprise me if Tesla Tower becomes a surprise MVP.
Yeah, especially because Tesla Tower is not something you really see in competitive standard.
Yeah.
Right?
So let's go ahead and see what it's Naders again. Naders gets a double pick here, and then it'll be the Flash again. Let's pick it up, guys.
Speedy, speedy, speedy. Naders second pick.
All right.
$sign.
Yeah, buddy. Lumberjack comes off the board. Lumberjack, actually, I'm surprised Lumberjack stayed that late in the draft. Think about this. One thing that I think is more valuable in draft formats than maybe like in normal things is redundant effects or cards that are very similar to other cards. So like Fireball, if you were to rank cards as like how good they are, I don't know if you'd put Fireball that high up there, but given that someone can pick Poison really early and then you're kind of stuck with like, what do I do now? Fireball becomes a very valuable high round pick. But I'm surprised that given how good Mega Minion and Mini P.E.K.K.A. are, Lumberjack stayed on the board this late into the format.
Yeah. The Lumberjack. Baby D. Somebody picked it.
Oh, buddy, we just got a message from Supercell. Like the draft format, go creativity. Hooray! Thanks, yeah. We got hosted by Clash Royale, so Supercell's probably tuning in right now. So, hi, guys. We love the Inferno Dragon. It's a lot of fun. Ice Golem comes out on Friday. So, yeah, guys, this is going to be a lot of fun to watch. Baby Dragon actually is for real picked this time. So you can
I wonder if we'll have somebody else get disqualified.
I'll DQ anyone, buddy. I'll kick them all out.
We need to have... I wish we had a button or like a sound we could... Like a... I don't know, some button we could slam and disqualify people.
Yeah, the big red, like the opposite of an easy button, like the hard life, but hard knocks button. Get out of here. School of Hard Knocks, buddy. I took night classes. All right, so the Flash is picked, and now it's Clark Kent. And then Pro Cole, I believe, gets to pick again. Cannon. So Tesla comes off the board for Clash Wars. Cannon comes off for Super Magicals. And we're really close to the end here. 4, 8, 12, 12, 16. Actually, I think that was the last pick for Super Magicals. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 15. This is the very last pick right here.
Wizard.
We're going to get to see some wizards. Okay, there we go, folks. Ready to go. let's go ahead and get this match started here very soon. Let's take a look at the cards here. I wish we could kind of put them on screen. We'd love to make like a tool or a website. This is sort of a trial run, so we didn't like build a website for a format that we're not really finalized on yet. But we are, if we do move forward with more formats, we'd like to try out different stuff. And we'll have more tools and stuff for it. The wizard lizard comes off. Okay, Clash Wars. To review, what 2 decks could you make out of these 20 cards? Inferno Tower, Bowler, Zap, Golem, Fireball, Guards, Goblins, Giant, Lightning, Arrows, 3 Musketeers, Tombstone, Skeletons, Mirror, Prince, Archers, Spear Goblins, Tesla Tower, Baby Dragon, Wizard.
I would do Giant 3 Musketeer.
Okay. Giant 3 Muskie over here.
Yep. And then
over here. My hand.
And then I would do
they have Giant and Golem, but I wonder if that's just redundant. They don't have to use both cards, right? They have the option to, but they don't have to.
I would do Giant 3 Musketeer and then Inferno Tower Bowler.
Okay, I like that. Do they have Fireball? They have Fireball. So they could do Inferno Tower Bowler Fireball, Zap, right? And just like kind of spell cycle and Bowler. But they don't have Hog Rider. Was Hog Rider not picked at all? No, I'm sorry. No,
Hog is on
okay.
Super Magical.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And yeah, okay. Who went second? Clark Kent went second? Okay.
Yeah.
Nainers, Clark, pick who is playing who. All right. And then that's on the one side. So I like your idea. They also have Tombstone. See, so you could even do like Bowler with the Inferno Tower Tombstone setup. You also have Prince. You could do Prince Bowler like with your Inferno Tower just as like your counterattack card.
It's just a little bit difficult because I'm trying to imagine without Minor or Poison and only Fireball, is there even an opportunity for you to win the game if you do Bowler Inferno? Right? Is it more? Would you
have Fireball? You have Lightning. Lightning in place of Rocket. So if you play a Rocket Cycle deck just with Lightning instead of Rocket, it's a little lower power, but you have a little bit more flexibility in terms of what you can do.
Perhaps that's. I almost think this is why I feel like after looking at this, doing a combination of Big Body plus Siege is probably your best bet because it has the least cards overlapping.
Yeah.
Because you could definitely do a Giant Prince, Giant 3 Musketeer, or Lava Hound Lightning kind of deck. And then you can do a crossbow deck, and you would feel pretty comfortable with both sets of cards.
Yeah, absolutely. And I look over at the Super Magicals here, and here's the thing. Naders has done a lot of these drafts. Naders and I have been talking about this format for a while, so he is someone who's a little more probably experienced with like just the idea of drafting cards in general. So I'd be interested to see how this turns out. They have a lot of troops, but I'm wondering what's going to wrap. Like the decks are weird in sense what they got. So let's take a look. Minor, Elixir Collector, Poison, Lava Hound. So, like, I guess that's a deck right there, right? Those 4 cards. Mini P.E.K.K.A, Mega Minion, Ice Spirit, Musketeer, Princess, Ice Wizard, Barbs, Hog Rider, Minions, Fire Spirit, Valkyrie, Rocket, Minion Horde, Log, Lumberjack, Cannon. Here's my guess. They have Musketeer, Hog, and Valkyrie. So they can actually play the Triangle Defense Trifecta deck. They even have Cannon with the very last pick.
Yeah.
They scooped up Cannon. They have Ice Spirit. They actually could build, aside from Poison... Oh, they do have Poison, I'm sorry.
Poison, yeah.
They don't have Zap. So aside from Zap, they could build that whole deck, right? But they also have Minor, Rocket, Ice Wizard, Ice Spirit. Like, they could kind of do the Minor chip deck, or they can actually...
I would do Minor Minion Horde.
Yeah, I was going to say that, because Clark Kent is one of the innovators of the Minion Horde, Minor, aggro, cycle sort of decks, and they do have the ability to play some sort of aggro deck using Minor as sort of a surprise tank. Which reminds us, guys, they're about to submit their decks right now and get playing anytime soon. Hazard in chat just had a one of those moments. Like, he goes, "Oh my God, we took Zap, so we should have taken Sparky because they have the best answer to Sparky." Live and learn. I'm surprised Sparky hasn't been picked in either one. Okay,
yeah, we've talked about that.
So remember, guys, if you want to tune in next week for the Season 2 Super Magical Cup Championship, go ahead and download this bracket off of our Twitter account, Twitter/Super Magical Cup, and fill it out yourself. Fill it out. all the way to who's going to win the championship. Submit it back to us on Twitter, and the winning bracket, the person who has the most accurate guessed bracket as of next week's championship, will win a $100 prize just for watching the Super Magical Cup. How hard is that? We'll go over again. Let's see. Rainey had a good one. Rainey's bracket has Pro Cole winning, which I could believe. If Pro Cole gets to pick his Lava Hound, it seems a lot more better.
Yeah.
And I have Clyde winning it. I think if Clyde wins both the Season 1 and Season 2 championships, I'm comfortable saying he's the best player in the game after going through these two fields. But this is a killer's row, to be honest.
Yes.
Like, some of these people are just absolute murderers. And I'm not sure. I could be so wrong. I remember in the Season 1 championship, there was one group that we called the Group of Death. And I picked the two opposite people.
Yeah.
Like, the people I thought were going to advance were the two who didn't advance.
Yeah, it was really surprising. I mean, it was really Clyde and Malkate. I mean, Clyde was probably that one guy because Clyde was the last seed and he made it out of the group, and that means he was facing the first seed, right?
Yes.
And Clyde made it out, and Malkate also, who was in a very similar spot in terms of no real Super Magical Cup victories, like first place finishes at the time, started beating people up and made it really, really far.
Which group do you think is the toughest? In chat, we'd love to hear your opinions too. So, like, who do you think is what group do you think is the toughest? And then, Rainey, which group is jumping out to you as the hardest?
The most difficult group in my eyes is probably going to be Pekka's Playhouse.
You think so? You get Vizard. Here's the thing I see about Pekka's Playoffs. While those are all really good, consistent players who've made multiple top fours, that is always the bridesmaid, never the bride group to me. Because not a single Super Magical Cup win in that group, yet all of them have the skill to go deep multiple times in the event, right?
I suppose I say that just because maybe the definition is a little bit wrong, but I can't see anybody feeling comfortable about being in that group. I think everybody, there's no clear, like, this guy is definitely going to move out.
I would agree. That was the hardest group for me to decide because all four of those players, it's like there's no clear victor, I guess. It almost comes down to matchups, right? Like, Naruto is a giant poison sort of player, and Vizard's kind of a hog rider, giant poison player, but he also played Lava Hound last week. Darth Jar Jar might have a good matchup against Vizard because if there's a Lava Hound deck, then he's got the Three Musketeers. But then Turtwig Date is playing Rocket Cycle, and where does Rocket Cycle fit into any of these things? You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's going to be an interesting group to watch just because I feel like player skill is so ambiguous in that group. You really don't know. Whereas I could definitely see an argument when you say Patriots group and you say, well, Patriots definitely is the favorite to move out of it. And I just can't say the same for Pekka's Playhouse.
Sure. We got a lot of people in chat saying Builders is the okay. So Pekka's Playhouse is the most common answer. Builders Workshop is the second most common answer, which I think on paper Builders Workshop is the hardest because there's 6 wins out of 4 players. Like oh my god, there's any of those players could be favorites, especially because level 99 came on very strong late in the season. Even though his points don't represent a ton, he's 16th seed. He's only entered like 2 and he top 8'd and finished second. So like that's, certainly a quality performance. Spell Valley is interesting to me. There are 3 Reddit Alpha members. 3 Reddit Alpha members in the group. So only 2 can advance. Some Reddit Alpha member is going to be left outside. And C. McHugh, despite being arguably the most talented player in the entire field, is kind of stuck in a 3-on-1 situation, right?
Could be, yeah. Could very, very well be. That's interesting.
Okay.
I think, did they submit their decks?
I'm not sure. It's making sure.
Yeah, I think Clash Royals did.
Okay. Okay. We're getting the match started right now. Let's get right back in this. They're picking their matchups right now. So we let them build their decks. They show the decks to each other, and then they pick who's gonna win.
The suspense. I think Clash Wars posted their actual deck.
They did. So, but I don't want to spoil it on chat in case someone else. We might be able to copy it or whatever.
Yeah, let's. I want to take a look and let it soak.
Oh yeah, so this is the Flashes list right here, and then this is Pro Cole Pro Cole's list right here. But unfortunately, once again, Pro Cole didn't put the subs in. I don't get it. Okay, so we got Clark Kent versus Pro Cole is going to be the first match.
Go.
So here we go. Pro request Clark. There we go. The first match is about to begin. Procol against Clark Kent. I'm excited to see how this one turns out.
Yeah. Procol against Clark Kent. Who's playing with me?
Yes. Getting started any minute here. Who do you think's going to win this match, chat? Let us know. We've got the Super Magicals against a former Clash Wars team. I believe it was Clash Wars.team at some point.
Clash Wars.
V-Tide in chat says Patriots has a bad attitude. I don't know. Patriots is definitely... here's the thing. Patriots is a super talented player, like arguably one of the best players in the field. Definitely a hothead. A hothead kind of guy, right? He's a very confident player, somebody who really believes that he's one of the best players in the game, and he is not afraid to talk about it there in chat or on Twitter.
I mean, really, what
could be his downfall? Could be, maybe he's right.
The thing is, like, really, it's a hard pill to swallow, but can you dispute it in very, very many ways? I mean, you would certainly be silly to call him not a great player, right?
Right. Do you ever watch? You ever watch bowling? One of the best bowlers is a total bad boy, buddy. Pete Weber. Got the glasses. He's like, yeah, every time he bowls a strike, he's like, real like that. It's good stuff. All right, so we have Lava Hound Mini P.E.K.K.A coming out first. Now, here's the thing. The Lava Hound's totally ignored, and we know Clark Kent has a minor.
Oh! Golem Lightning!
Golem Lightning! I played this on stream the other day, but here comes the minor. It looks like both these towers might end up getting traded here. The
Lava Hound
minor
is so
just cleared
slow.
up those archers.
Yeah, look how slow it is because the Lava Hound hasn't popped.
Mirrored archers! The thing we were all predicting, mirrored archers. And those archers are actually pretty tough. And look at that, they're two-hitting the pups. Just boing, 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 just taking them out.
Oh,
wow. Procol came out ahead of that.
And you could almost just lightning that at any time you want. So yeah, I would, if I was Procol, I would start working on that right side tower.
Log doesn't kill archers. That's right, because it's arrow.
It's level 10.
It's arrow. Well, no, it's actually because they're arrow. It's an arrows thing. Like level 9 archers also wouldn't die.
They also wouldn't die. Huh.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So, okay, before this game gets too far.
Okay.
So, I predicted Reddit Alpha just to rub it in your face.
Right.
I was right.
You're right, of course.
Super Magicals or Clash Wars.
I gotta go with my boy. It's my clan. It's the clan that I'm the leader of. I gotta say Super Magicals, right?
All right, I'm on Clash Wars side.
All right, take it.
Procol is one of my favorite players.
You're right.
So.
Procol's one of my. You know what's funny? I picked Procol to win the championship next week. So, or no, I picked Clyde. I'm sorry, I picked Clyde. You picked Procol. I picked Clyde. I had Procol making the finals though. So Procol is by no means a scrubber dub. Oh man, here comes. Once again, though, I like the smart time of, look, he adapted. He played the archers further back so the miner doesn't go clean him up.
Yep, he wants to make sure that the archers can survive for the...
But I think the Lava Hound might actually just... No, I thought maybe the pups actually could probably take that tower down.
Oh, there's the Baby D.
The Baby Dragon not in the Lava Hound deck.
I would lightning that. Okay, it's too late. He can't lightning the right side.
And I don't think he needs to because the right side tower is... He's got 45 seconds to kill it, right?
Yes, that's true.
Miner comes out early. Good cannon there.
He's going to have to... Oh,
the prince doesn't okay. Woo! Clark Kent playing the Lava Hound Mega Minion deck that I am such a big fan of on the ladder and in challenges right now.
I think the big difference that's really hurting Procol right now is that he did not commit to a lightning.
Right.
Log takes down the left side. He needs to use the lightning to do some big damage. I really disagree with that Elixir Collector placement because that's just feeding him free lightning opportunities, and he could just go ahead and lightning this tower now.
Yes, look at those archers go! Wow! And he just barely, he had the lightning and he just barely missed that mini P.E.K.K.A. It might have been enough if he could have killed the mini P.E.K.K.A.
Oh, mirror lightning!
Whoa, 3, 2, 1,
no!
At the start of overtime! Oh, that lightning, he had to commit so much elixir to that lightning that,
Yeah, I really think, so here's the difference, right? In both scenarios, Procol ended up lightning that left side tower. But if he had done it while his troops were on the field attacking the other side, and if he had just lightning that Elixir Collector and that cannon down, that would have netted Procol more damage because of the existence of his troops, right? The fact that he let those troops get their full value, destroy the prince, destroy the troops, and then use the lightning, it didn't have that synergy. Didn't have that synergistic effect. If it was just one prince swing, just one little bit of damage, that game could have been very different.
Absolutely. So let's take a look. 13, as like I said, 13 elixir to kill a 400 hit point target because he had to mirror lightning.
Yeah.
So lightning, you're right. That's so much elixir that it puts you in a situation where even if you take the tower, how can you defend?
Clark Kent had a rocket in his deck.
Oh, he had a rocket the whole time, just in case.
The whole time. The whole time.
And you're right. Pika Pals is calling what we noticed as well, that if the lightning had hit the mini P.E.K.K.A. that was summoned like a half second after the lightning went off, then those archers probably would have walked up and just shot one or two shots, and we would have been good to go.
Very close. I think it was really the lightning decision making on the lightning card.
Yes, definitely.
That was.
So let's see if Pro Cole changes his deck up at all. If I'm Pro Cole, what do I want to change in this deck? I like the Golem Mirror. I mean, that's actually a pretty cool deck, right? I like the Mirror Prince and stuff.
I actually think the deck is solid. I think he can do it with this deck.
Could he sub out maybe Goblins? There's nothing in that deck that you really care about with Goblins. Maybe like mini P.E.K.K.A., but it's not that big of a deal. Maybe Goblins could come out for something like Tesla Tower?
Perhaps, yeah. Maybe having a Tesla, something that can distract the Lava Hound and make the pups attack a different target other than the tower.
Pro Cole. Let's see what Pro Cole's other sub cards are. They have to submit what their subs are. So Pro Cole, Inferno Tower, what is he? Oh, he has Inferno Tower. Pro Cole does.
Skeletons and Giant.
No, I'm sorry. That's I see. Flash has Inferno Tower but didn't play it. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's the Flash. Where's Pro Cole? Pro Cole.
No, I think. Oh, okay, yeah.
Oh, they switched it up. Okay. So Pro Cole has Inferno Tower on the bench that he can now bring in against this. Guards. He also has arrows that he's not playing. Wait, did they mix this up at the last minute? Pro Cole traded sides.
I think Flash probably submitted for both of them.
Oh, I got it. Yeah. Oh, I see. Inferno. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. So, because here's the Golem deck right here, right?
Yeah.
Guards, Bowler. Where's the Golem in this? 1, 2, 3.
Oh, Golem is in here. Arrows.
I'm not sure.
Wizard. What happened?
Yeah, I'm not sure. They're in the middle of the game, though, so we need to get in the middle of the game. Sorry, guys. Game's playing. I'll try to catch up. We'll compare to the deck list after.
Okay. Okay.
But you're right. So Clark Kent's coming in here, gets Lava Hound, and actually kind of aggressive move playing the Lava Hound at the river, but the logic there is that, well, 3 Musketeers are already off the board. Oh, and the Inferno Tower does come in for Pro Cole off the bench.
Pups are doing such a great job at gumming up that Inferno Tower, and the pups, actually 4 of them will make it out, but they move so slow. Oh, God. Did somebody sneeze? I think that tower took no damage.
Wow. Yeah, it's maybe a little zappy bit of damage.
Clark Kent took a lot on the left side, though. The 3 Musketeers did huge amounts.
Doop.
All right, so he did summon the Giant.
So you're right. We had Giant and Golem, and it's interesting that he had the option of one or the other and opted to go with the smaller one.
Yeah. I think Giant might be more effective because Golem is a big investment. All right, Clark Kent chooses to put the Lava Hound on the right side, but there is Inferno Tower, and there's more than enough elixir to play it. Mega Minion is a big card to stop this. Plus, the cannon is actually really effective as well.
Giant Bowler, 3 Musketeers.
Yeah.
But here's...
you got 2 of them.
Yeah, that's actually not the worst. But
oh no, the guards! Fire Spirits against the guards. Ooh. We talked about that.
Yeah, here he goes. The Musketeer is locked on, though, and it's going to knock that tower down, no problem.
Yeah, Clark Kent, I think, is going to have a hard time. He does have the Miner, but he didn't play it in combination with the Lava Hound, and I think this is actually a fairly weak move, but we still have a minute left, so it's definitely possible. 3 Musketeers, again, on the side with 1 tower down, means that Pro Cole always has the option to just not defend his tower and then take down the second one and win 2-1.
The Mega Minion, though, is great. It's a lifesaver in Clark Kent's deck against this Giant Bowler list, right? Because the Mega Minions just can take out so many of these ground-based pushes. Oh, no! They're on the wrong side, which actually opens up some good opportunities for Lava Hound on the other side. Oh, but the Fire Spirits didn't quite hit.
Yeah, the Fire Spirits didn't connect super well. The log does a good amount of damage, but it's really not enough. It needs to be log plus something else. And this is a big problem about not having poison or fireball.
Yeah.
Oh, it takes down one of the Musketeers, and we'll take down the other one here, but gonna... Oh, the bowler gets turned around.
Yep, that's exactly what you want to do, is you want to turn around the bowler, and give the opportunity for the cards coming up the river to actually hit. And look at that, the thing's going down, there's 9 seconds left. He might be able... he doesn't have a rocket this time.
Oh, God, no, Clark Kent.
Oh, no, we got a few seconds here. Oh, he's going to take the second tower, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
So...
Wow, 1-1.
Pro Cole wins game 1. Pro Cole will have to submit to Clark Kent. All right, so this is going to be now Pro Cole submits Clark Kent. So let's take a look. Pro Cole had Giant Bowler, 3 Musketeers, Spear Goblins. What do you have here? Very, very different deck from the last time, and that's the thing I was checking on. So yeah, that's yeah.
Where's the button?
Where's the button? The big red button. Honk! I don't think he switched out too many of his cards, but that's okay. Let's go to game 3. Oops. Game 3. You gotta stick with your 10 cards. Procol switched like 6 cards out. You have 8 plus 2. We're just seeing this right now. Let's get game 3. So let's go ahead and do pro request Clark. We'll do a game 3 and just see how it plays out. Yeah.
So yeah, I think they're trying to play the winning deck elimination format.
Oh, I see. They're thinking it was. This is the bummer because King K couldn't make it, and King K was actually like the organizer of the team who knew the rules really well. So unfortunately, Pro Cole and the Flash are trying to pick it up. Yeah.
That's
Golem Lightning deck. So yeah, let's go ahead and go game 3. And like, you can take out some cards, but that list primarily. Yeah, we know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. What are we going to do? What do you want to do? It's a fun event, right? It's a kind of a fun event, so what do you want to do here? What does chat want to see? Chat, what are you guys seeing? You want to... I don't know if I want to do that. I kind of want to see a game 3.
Yeah, let's see a game 3.
Yep. Let's see a game 3 for the fans.
Let's see a...
let's see a game... Yeah, I don't know.
If they... yeah. I would say let's see a game 3, and then if they win...
We'll figure it out.
Play one more.
Maybe play one more?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So let's just discard that result. Discard that game.
Make Procol play like...
Replay, yeah, replay the game. Procol has to use his 10 cards, his original 10 cards.
Yeah.
10 cards. Game 2 is what it will be.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was okay. So we had a confusion there. The Clash Wars team thought that they had 20 cards to build like 2 separate 8-card decks that followed double deck rules. Mm-hmm. So they had to make like an 8-card deck and another 8-card deck with 4 cards different, and then like for each match. But that's not quite it.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think so. It kind of sucks for Reddit Alpha. They got DQ'd 1, but they ended up winning anyways. So.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, exactly. But here's what we're gonna do. I mean, this is a test format, right? The reason why we do these test formats is to get the kinks out. Can you imagine if this was like the first event of a season and it was like a big deal and counted for stuff? That's why we do these things, is to shake it out. We could have just not broadcast this week, but we wanted to broadcast and have a fun little show here. Okay, there we go. So Clark Kent is officially up game 1, right? He won game 1. We're going to discard the result of this game because Procol switched out too many cards between his deck. And then the Flash, and we'll also make sure that they're... Go ahead and take the casting away or whatever.
All right, we'll see. Procol. As it says, a whole sub thing with 2 sub per player is very confusing. I would recommend for next time to make it that players can pick from 4 subs.
I agree. Yeah. Well, that's the same thing. Can pick from 4 subs, but different players can't use the same subs. That's the exact same thing as 2 each, right? That's kind of the idea.
I think it's not necessarily that it's confusing. It's just that the just like the communication of it. I think.
Yeah.
Is what, I think essentially it's just you pick 10 cards each, right?
Right.
I have 10 cards. You have 10 cards.
Right.
These are my 10 cards for the whole time.
Here's what I think actually the best version of this format is. I'm glad we're trying this out. I actually don't know if this works great as a clan format, but it works amazingly as a solo format. So if we had 4 players, each picking 10 cards each, and that was just your 10 cards, then, and you played round robin, so you have to play all 3 other people in the draft. I think that's actually the ideal version of this format. So I like the clan test because we can see sort of how these people work with each other, but I think that's probably what we'd move forward with, but we can think about it a little more. Big Elixir Collector, very early round pick here for Clark Kent. Let's make sure that...
All right.
And
Split archers, 1 shot each. There's the level 10 archers again. And Procol actually, aside from being a great Lava Hound player, is actually a great mirror player too. That's actually one of the big things about his one Lava Hound
I forgot about that. You're right. He did have a Lava Hound mirror deck.
Yeah. And he's probably the best mirror player that I've seen in the Super Banjo Cup. Like he's somebody who makes mirror outside of just simply doing mirror rocket stuff. That uses it in very many different ways. We've seen him use it with so many different cards, actually.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like, look how many good mirror options there are in Procol's deck. Mirror Goblins is really interesting. Mirror Tombstone. Mirror Goblins is great because Mirror Goblin can't be zapped. But they even have zap, right? So like you already have goblins that can't be zapped, and you can even double up on them if you really need to.
Yeah. All right. He's got a giant. Wow, Procol actually picked giant and golem. That's interesting.
Whoa! We got the Mirror Giant coming down.
How do you stop it? So he has lightning available, and as kind of the options run out for Clark Kent, the lightning is going to be more and more. And the big body,
Ooh. Oh, it's double tank. Oh my god, big body. Hey, I'm just saying. They've got a big booty, so we call him Big Booty.
Yeah. I think the next 4 elixir card. Okay. I think that Procol's mistake was letting the mini P.E.K.K.A live too long.
Yeah,
either lightning.
Oh, look at that lightning though! It caught back up.
I think he should have either lightninged early or lightning late.
Mini P.E.K.K.A. Oh, makes it okay. Wow, that was a pretty good log though. Took out everything, and
Yeah.
we're going into overtime with both right side towers a little lower than normal. The old Golem double giant push.
Yeah, I really think Procol should have committed to a lightning first or in the middle of the push.
Great deal there. Not only pulling the Mega Minion safely, away from the tower, but getting those fire spirits to jump onto skeletons. And the Mirror Tombstone. The skeletons might even. Oh, great log by Clark Kent. He saw what was going to happen there and predicted it a little ahead. Those archers have been really impressing me.
Yeah. So the big question is, I think that Procol has been using his cards very creatively, but the reality is that the miner is smacking the butt of your tower.
Absolutely.
Right?
That was the first pick of the Super Magicals, and they're really putting it to use here. Clark Kent is a very steady, well-known miner player. And,
I think this is the play.
I like
play the goblins. Goblins, get in there.
Oh, the rocket comes down.
No! There was 9 health.
Oh, 9 health on there. What? Oh my god, no, Procol. No. That was so close. That was so close. No, that was, you know what's crazy? The difference there was that if Miner had turned to fight the other skeleton instead of hitting the tower, I think Procol wins that game. Wow. Okay, whoa, 9 HP TV Royale status on that game. Unbelievable. So now it is Nader's or haters. Yeah, well, haters request Flash. Haters. You know who I mean.
Oh god.
The haters. 0.0001 second away. Those Giblins. I literally almost dropped my iPad, says Hazard. Hazard screaming, no! Oh my god, don't drop the iPad. That's more valuable.
Oh my god.
Still good.
Oh my god. What would have been crazier is if we saw both towers go down at the same time and the overtime was extended.
Yeah.
I would have.
Oh man. GG Procol. That game was so close. So Clark Kent wins 2-0 because he won the game 1. We're gonna discard game 2. He wins game 2. And now we have Naders against the Flash. If Naders wins, then that's it for Super Magicals. We'll have Super Magicals versus Reddit Alpha in the finals. If the Flash beats Naders, it will be the Flash versus Clark Kent to decide which of these people move on. Here we go. Let's get into it.
Somebody says easy and calculated for Clark. Calculated.
Calculate. He just knew it. He's just counting the math, just doing the math in his head.
Oh man.
Well calculated. Clark Kent, 100% skill.
Yep.
No luck. Yep. All right, Princess comes down. The Flash has archers.
Archers versus Princess.
No, they can't have archers. He can't have archers because Procol had archers.
Oh.
It's such a bummer that King Procol.
Clash Roar.
No, I can't. I can't talk Clash Roar this fall. I think that's close one. Oh man, but Wizard's in there. Let's see how this deck goes. I might let this one go.
Yeah.
I mean, he's using a lot of different cards.
But just the archers.
Yeah.
Why are the archers there?
There's only one Musketeer, and Naders has it. Naders got the one Musketeer.
Flash versus Superman. Oh, that's actually interesting. We got the.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Flash versus Superman. Nice.
Oh, because he's got the S sign or the dollar sign.
Yeah. I mean, eventually he'll fight. Maybe he'll fight Clark Kent.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, good arrows there against the Mean Horde. Now that's
Yeah.
definitely arrows is one of those cards I think is a really good strategic pick in this format because minions and minion princess, all those things are pretty high picks, and then you might actually be able to get arrows in there. We'll see. Tombstone. Wait, and Flash. Oh, Tombstone's also in Pro Cole's deck. Right? Was the lightning in there too?
Yes, because he
mirrored or Flash is 10 cards.
I think they thought that the subs were shared between
the subs. Yeah, the subs are not. That was the idea. Yeah.
I don't exactly know. Like maybe language.
Well, the thing is, King K knew this form had been really over the rules a whole bunch, and he couldn't make it because the internet. Whoa, minions! Wizards showing off some tough stuff here, though.
Fireball. Yeah, Wizard is a fantastic card just because he eliminates cheapy splashy. The only thing is that he costs a lot.
Right. Oh, and there's the Tesla Tower. We were wondering what would Tesla be good against, and sure enough, there's a lot of cards in Nader's deck that oh wow, the Tombstone and then it's pretty good.
Oh, that Princess Volley was at the exact right time.
And takes out the one archer, and the other one gets killed before even I think making a hit on the tower.
Minion Hog Rider. Oh, gets
it's gonna walk right by it. Oh, get one. Oh, man. Wizard's been really impressing me so far. Wizard was the actual last pick of the draft. The last 40th card pick. And so far, it seems like the MVP of this matchup. Oh, double Wizard! What? The mirror. Oh, mirror's in there, too.
God! I mean, they clearly just don't really understand the rules.
Yeah, totally. And here's the thing, though. This isn't their fault. This isn't Pro Cole's fault. This isn't Flash's fault. Yeah. The onus is on us, the tournament, and really Rumham. Rumham wrote these rules. The onus is on Rumham to make the rules very clear. I think they were a little too complicated, but that's why we do trial events. That's exactly why we do this.
Yeah, complications is definitely something that we've had to think about ever since the start of the Super Rounds Club. But one of our concerns was that the double deck format that we run now. Thank God people have got onto it, but we were I was very concerned when I was first designing Super Magic Cup that people would not be able to understand this. So language was something that was very important. To me, but yeah, and this is exactly why, because it is very hard.
It is difficult. I mean, it's difficult to try to communicate very complicated rule formats, especially when people have never really played it before. But that's why we're doing this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, at least we get to see Mirror Wizard, right?
Yeah, hey, buddy, I can see exactly. I'm having fun just watching weird matches, buddy. We got plenty of time left. Let's do this.
Yeah. Nice poison. Misses the Tesla. Could have moved it over one.
Yeah.
Got everything plus the Tesla.
Oh, good lightning there. I like that lightning. I think he actually hit something else too.
Yeah,
it hit something that was like just summoned almost, like an ice spirit maybe.
Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
Got good it with the mirror lightning.
Yeah. Game probably doesn't count. But what do we do? Because I don't actually know if they've been clear about what 10 cards they get to use. What are Flash's 10 cards? Arrows, Wizard, Mirror, but he already said Mirror, and Pro Cole used Mirror.
Yeah, at this point, I think they have a completely different understanding about how the cards work out. So
yeah,
we might want to get our admin to reconnect with both of them and be like,
well, I'm talking to him in between the games here, and it's like, okay, you can't use any cards that Pro Cole used.
10 cards belong to Pro Cole.
Yeah.
10 cards belong to you.
20 picks. 10 belong to each player. And there's no overlap. There's no overlap.
Even if you think Pro Cole is lacking and is starving and is in a bad spot, you cannot give him. You cannot charity him cards. 10 cards belong to you and only you.
Yeah. So I don't know let's see what we're gonna do here. We might have to do.
Half the deck was this thing.
Yes. Oh, that's exactly it. So here we go. We thought we'd create 2 decks for each of us.
No.
Yeah. No, and here's again, it's not Pro Cole's fault. It's not the Flash's fault. This is definitely, this is why we try to figure this out. Yeah. Each get 10 totally 100% different cards.
We're all lining up now.
In the interest of time.
There's no sharing.
In the interest of time, let's play. Oh God, we gotta do a loss. That's a loss. We gotta move to the finals.
They have to figure out the 10 cards that they play.
Yeah, we gotta move to finals. So Flash requests Naders game 2. I mean, what do you want to do? No.
No, play the
Yeah, no, game 2.
Yeah, play the second game. Why do you keep typing haters?
It's correcting. It's auto-correcting to haters. I'm not typing haters.
It's like, why do you keep doing that, man?
But
H&N
make
are not that
sure
close.
you don't have any Pro Cole cards. Pro Cole cards. Like Wizards, fine, all that stuff. All that's good.
No Archer, no Mirror.
No Archer's
as
Mirror
I-
Tombstone. Archer,
Mirror,
Tombstone. What was the other one? There's one more. Hazard said there's one more card in there.
Check the match preview.
Oh, yeah, you're right. We can check the match preview here. So Pro Cole used in his 2 games. He used that was the wrong one. That was the one we didn't use. Is this the one? No. Yes, this is the one right here. Okay. So Giant, Baby Dragon, Lightning, Mirror, Tombstone Goblins, Archer's Giant was the second one, and the first one
Lightning.
was
It was Lightning.
Yeah, Lightning was the other one. Yeah.
So Tombstone, Mirror, Archer's Lightning.
Yeah, or Lightning. Yeah, that's it. Good job. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So,
okay, I think we're on the same page now.
Pro used Lightning. Cool. Test events, buddy. This is why you're watching. We heard watching how the sausage is made.
Oh boy.
I'm excited to see the final draft, though, because definitely we've kind of worked some kinks out. I think people are definitely like familiar with how to draft and what the kind of the strategies are. So the final should be really, really cool. We'll see how that goes. Whoo, buddy. What do you want to request? Everyone in chat tells us to request cards. What are you requesting? There you go. Move them huts. We got huts to move. All right. Naders and okay, this is game 2. So what we're gonna do, just for the sake of speed, because we got to get to the finals here. Flash is down 1-0.
Yep.
And so Naders up. So Naders has to win this game, or Flash has to win the next 2.
Oh, Ice Spear Hog Rider is a sick combo.
Very good combo.
Nice charge, though.
Nice. And actually, I really like that he was able to take out the minion horde and still hit the tower too. A lot of good value there for the Flash.
Yep. Yeah, Naders did a good push on the left side, but Prince is just too strong.
Yeah.
Prince, arrows, and Minion Horde is your defense.
It's actually, the Minion Horde came down a little late, because if Minion Horde's cast really early, it can kill the Prince before it hits the tower, but if it comes down a little late, between the deploy time and the fact they have to attack and stuff.
Yeah, and it might have been it was probably a delay thing, because he had enough elixir to do both of those.
Right.
So. All right, Hog Rider jumps across the river, and it's gonna get stopped by guards, but Poison's gonna slow it down, earn it a swing.
I wish I had a Wizard card here. Wizard has been so far, I think, the MVP of what I've seen at least. It's been pretty good.
Wizard has been sick. Unfortunately, we can't see the mirrored wizard.
The mirrored wizard was hot sauced. I like that. That was good.
Those bars just disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pro Cole used Prince and Goblins. Did he?
Yeah, I remember he's got.
He's got Spear. He got Goblins. Yeah. Wait, no, that was a Golem deck. The Golem deck didn't have Prince in it.
Well, at this,
no.
I think Pro Cole used so many cards too, as well.
Yeah, remember, you can't count the one game that we discarded a Pro Cole.
Yeah.
So we'll take a look, but I think it's fine.
Yeah, because otherwise Pro Cole actually used all the cards. So it's like, there's no way we could do this. Yeah, so.
That was a good move, though. The Fireball and the Minion Horde, I like that move. So Flash having both Fireball and arrows completely eliminates Nader's Minion Horde as like a thing that you have to be worried about.
Yes, I mean the Flash has so much splash. He has minion. Yeah, I mean he has Wizard, arrows, Fireball. He has just everything in the world. It might just come down to a poison game.
It could be. I could definitely see that. I mean, he's already got a good amount of damage on that tower.
Oh God, do something! No!
The Valk absorbs it, kills the goblins, and allows the Musketeer to finish that off.
That was well positioned. All right, Hawk. This is a big
Boink.
push. Yep. Fine. 2 swings. 1, 2.
Doink! Oh!
And that's actually really good.
That's
2
really
swings
good
for
Flash.
Naders, especially with the existence of poison, is like yes. Oh, and the Princess is gonna get more.
Princess getting even just 2 chip shots on the tower is pretty significant.
Yeah, didn't quite make the second one. Poison on the Prince and the Wizard, and I think that's a good choice because the Musketeer is gonna get gummed up by the guards. Valkyrie is buying time. Nice.
That was a really good. I mean, that was only 8 elixir to counter 10, 9 if you can keep the Ice Spirit. But you didn't need the Ice Spirit at all.
Yep.
Really, that Tesla tower is doing great for Flash.
Oh, the goblins!
Oh no!
Oh, the princess!
No! Princess on that. And I thought she was gonna dodge the arrows too.
Princess nearly was like reenacting the Matrix right there. That was like last week we saw the Jason Bourne Miner. This week we were going to see the Trinity Princess.
Here comes the Wizard. Boink. Being a professional. Oh, the guards came down just a little too late to distract for the Wizard. Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the big thing that really hurts Wizard is just the 5 elixir cost. Just like that, you got -1. You know.
Right.
Oh no! Nader's got dunked! Oh no!
No! And Flash pulls it off at the end there.
That's why people don't use.
You gotta be worried. You gotta be worried of those princes.
Yep. The Minion Horde was played and it had to catch up to the prince because it moved too fast. And then Nader's, in knowing that he needed to defeat the prince quickly enough, had to play the minions behind, but then got pre-arrowed.
Yep.
And the Minion Horde and the minions got taken out.
I think he's fine because if I go back and look, the game that Procol used Prince in, I think, was... Oh, he did use Golem Prince. Did he do it in the second one, too? And he took Prince out. Let's just go to a game 3.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point, Procol used so many cards.
I think Procol might have, ended up using a whole bunch.
So just make sure
they're happy, I'm happy, everyone's happy.
Like, the Flash can only replace 2 cards.
Yeah.
Just that's Flash's deck.
All right, let's get into game 3. Yeah, you're right, because I think between the confusion, this is fine. I'm comfortably happy with how different Flash's deck is. It's very, very different. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Oops. Yeah. All right. So the Princess did really well out of Nader's side, and I'm glad to see Princess come out again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nader's could definitely have swapped out for his sub cards. I don't know what his sub cards were.
I'm not really sure either. That Wizard, though, has been ace.
Oh,
the Ice Spirit jumped! The Ice Spirit still got the jump off, which is a bummer.
Wow.
Oh, the trifecta variant, though. I mean, that's what we got here coming out. I definitely like that they were able to pick up all 3 of the same sort of archetype. And let's see if this Musketeer can come in and get some damage on the tower. It does lock on.
Yeah. That's a pretty good win for trifecta.
Spirit Goblins are probably great in this format because there's Zap. Like, if you can get Zap early, then you can just be like, boink, boink, boink.
Yeah, Spirit Goblins are the kind of card. I mean, look, 300 damage for 2 elixir, and almost your opponent doesn't want to defend because it's so cheap.
Yeah.
It's almost like every time you play Spirit Goblins, you get 200.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a great cycle card. Like, it's also one of those things where there's a premium on cheap 2 and 3 cost cards. You have to play kind of more expensive variants.
Yeah. Sorry, Procol.
No, I feel bad because
it's not your fault, Procol.
I really appreciate that Procol and Flash were able to make it. We had some last minute, people who maybe couldn't make it, and so I just really appreciate they were able to do it. I am not going to make fun of them for not understanding my overly complicated rule set that I made.
And really, it's just a fun event.
Well, the funny thing is that Rainey came up with an awesome clan format, and then I came up with an awesome draft format, and then we just merged these ideas together, and it might have ended up a little too complicated. So I think what we might end up doing is like Rainey's sweet clan format, and then my solo draft, and then
we'll play them individually.
Yeah,
but
I like it though. We're trying to figure out new formats. I'd love to have a clan. I'd love if we'd had 3 tournaments a week. Would you? Hey, I got a question for you guys. Would you guys watch 4 tournaments a week? Would you guys be interested in watching like 4 massive Super Magical Cup things a week? Is that something that you guys would be interested in?
That's a good question.
Ooh, fireball! The fireball.
Why did you not hit me?
I think it was already off the finger maybe beforehand.
Oh, he slowed down, got the splash on the Musketeer anyways, and now it's just a lone Ice Wizard. Santa's dropping down the chimney and figured out he just entered an abandoned house. Yeah. Like, there's nobody to give presents to. What am I doing here?
God, Princess though. Oh, I wish this. I mean, I feel bad because if Flash could have gotten that arrows out a little quicker, then the Spirit Goblins would have done a lot. Ooh, I think the Tesla actually took out the Ice Spirit.
Oh boy.
And this is allowing a Prince to come right back.
If they're a little bit, yes. No, too many, yes. If they're a little bit earlier.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll see.
Ooh, the nice pull, the Hog pull. Because Hog can definitely be fine with like 2/3 health, right? It's still a threat to hit a tower. And it was able to save that Musketeer from getting shot. Prince comes back out. I feel like Flash's deck is so cheap and quick cycles. He's got a lot of 2 and 3 cost cards that's allowing him to like get back to his Prince over and over and over again.
School and homework take a lot of time. I wouldn't want to recommend you do otherwise, but you could do otherwise.
All right, we'll see.
Super Magical Cup is once in a lifetime.
Yep, that's right. All right, so what do you think is the path to victory for Flash here? Naders is slowly chipping away with poisons and princesses and hogs. What does Flash need to do to pull this game out?
I think Flash just needs to find some way to get on top of the line of play. Right now, he's just a second behind. He's reacting to what Naders plays. He needs to be the one playing things against Nader.
Oh, wow, that Ice Wizard has been amazing. That Ice Wizard just fought the guards and all the other stuff.
Yeah.
And here comes the Poison Hog to ride by the Prince if at all possible.
Oh, the Prince is slowed down too.
One swing.
That's probably going to be two.
Two swings.
Oh!
Is that enough? I don't know if it's enough to go down on the own. He needs the Princess to get another shot. No. Or the, I think he just needs to cycle at this point.
He needs to go, yeah. The Flash
I think
needs to go
he's
now.
fine. We got the Valkyrie to hold. All those good cycle troops are unfortunately not going to be great at getting through Valkyries and other sorts of stuff. So with the sort of drafted trifecta deck, Naders pulls it out in Game 3, and the Super Magicals will advance to fight Reddit Alpha, and let's get that going right away.
Yep. So are they going to need a draft?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Speedy draft. 20 seconds. We're picking your cards for you if you don't.
Yeah, buddy. We're gonna have. Okay, so we have Clark Kent and Naders of the Super Magicals advancing to the finals against Reddit Alpha, and we are ready to go.
Thank you very much, by the way, for Procol and the Flash for playing, and thank you, of course, also to Silent for playing. It's actually. Nice that the players will take the time out of their day to come and...
Definitely, yeah. Thank you so much to Procol and the Flash for hanging out. We really appreciate them giving us subjecting themselves to a little bit of embarrassment as we try to figure out how to make drafting work in this game, though. I get it.
Marcel P. All right. You're welcome.
All right, Marcel P's picking first. I'll take over. So it should go. Yeah.
Magicals. We got.
I'm helping move the draft along.
Marcel P already picked. Scott.
All right.
Hog.
Ooh, really? That's a really high pick for Hog Rider there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just surprised because Hog Rider's gone kind of late in the earlier ones.
I think they might have spoken with each other and gotten a better idea of like, okay, well, these are the two distinct decks that we'll probably be playing. So I'll grab my win condition, and the next cup you'll grab your win condition, so we can secure that.
Yeah.
But interesting that neither. Even in this finals round, after having some experience, none of these players have identified as grabbing spells as being a worthy endeavor.
Speaking of the devil, there's Zadian picking up poison. I think you could totally pick poison first overall.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't seem like a crazy pick to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, let me give you some feedback. Chicken Bob is asking in chat, I feel like the system would be good if both players can share the 4 subs. The reason why we didn't do that is because actually if that could be true, you would put the best cards not in your deck. Mm-hmm. You would put like Elixir Collector not in your deck, so both players play game 1 without it, and then both players have Elixir Collector for games 2 and 3. Yeah. That was the reason why we didn't do it, is because there's kind of a weird like exploit, you know what I mean, to that. So Naders has got the double pickup right now.
All right.
Rainy, are you Yarn or Handsome Korean? Or are you Yarn? Or are you Rainy? I think you might be Rainy. Rainy has a long history in esports. What games were you working on prior to starting the Super Magical Cup?
I do a lot of casting for a lot of different games, and mostly it's been very much for my own communities. You know, because I was a very big fan of esports, so I started out doing StarCraft 2.
Yep,
cast a lot of StarCraft 2 for the University of Washington. Casted their collegiate Star League games and hosted events for them, and did the whole shebang, and then moved on to doing casting for things like League of Legends and Dota, and just really the games that I liked playing. Everything was really kind of a passion project for me.
Of course.
And similar to Super Magical Cup, starting the Super Magical Cup was something that was very fun. I wanted to see, because at the time, Clash Royale was really, really popular, but the tournament scene was incredibly lacking. Competitive was incredibly lacking, and there were challenges that came with it. But I think that the Super Magical Cup can pretty proudly say that we are a very stable competitive format. And I think, like, of course, I would love for the Super Magical Cup to grow and grow and get bigger and bigger and bigger. But I mean, our first broadcast has about like maybe 50 viewers at the peak.
At most, yeah.
And now we're at 254 people watching us
goof around. Yeah, right.
You know?
Oh man. Yeah.
So I'm happy.
I'm really happy with those. I mean, honestly, the Super Magical Cup is so great because of the fans who support us. I mean, honestly, we wouldn't be here week after week if you guys didn't tune in. If you didn't want to see high level Clash Royale play and just seeing all of the. I mean, really, thanks for bearing with us. Do you remember when we were like casting in the conference room over there that had like nothing behind us? It was like there wasn't even a green screen or nothing like that. Not even like the production room when there was construction going on.
Yeah, the Super Magical Cup has been something that I really enjoyed doing just because I wanted. I mean, when I look at Clash Royale, I think that it's one of the few mobile games that I think it's truly a competitive experience and is very well designed in terms of just like the interactions. I think it's very simple, which is great because that means it's very easy to get into and very easy to understand. Considerations that you would never even think of, like there's no need for a camera, right? Yeah, you just see the whole thing all the time.
I think Clash Royale honestly has every tool to be one of the biggest esports, and that's Elixir Collector, I guess. To be one of the biggest esports in the game, but I mean by far because. You're right. You can see everything. It's very easy to pick up. What I like about it is that the Twitch skill cap, like the reaction speed skill cap, is high, but not unreasonably high. I like that a lot of people can be really good at the game because they're strategic thinkers. They're like chess players sort of thinkers. Because you have to be quick, but you don't have to be like 70 or 120 APM, like super click, crazy fast.
Yeah, I think it has a good amount of execution as well as strategy.
Yeah.
And I think that the double deck format that we use for the Super Magical Cup is great because it also includes deck building as a skill that is definitely unique to a game like Clash Royale.
Yeah.
And so we're kind of marrying the two ends of kind of like a strategy game and a card game.
And that's why I love it, because I used to play like RTS games, MOBAs, and card games. Like that's it. That's what I play. So here we have a MOBA real-time strategy head-to-head PvP card game. And I'm like, this is the game for me.
So it was just really weird to me before I started Super Magical Cup that like, man, this game is really fun, and I think players can be very skilled and will surprise people because I think one of the things is it's so simplistic that a lot of the people, even up to Legendary Arena, and I think even some that are beyond Legendary Arena, just don't quite understand how deep the game is and how good players can be, right? I think until they get their butt kicked by players like Patriots and Woody and Procol and Clyde and all these guys, like they will not realize how consistently they can actually get beat by these Super Magical Cup champions. I think a lot of them will see it as like, oh, they played okay, and like I could do that too. Yeah. But really, and I have no real evidence to support this, but I think if you stepped up to the plate and fought them, they would beat you 80%, 90% of the time.
Oh, absolutely. Maybe even more. I mean, I remember when I first started playing with actual tournament, because I stream and I just play whatever deck, and the ladder is like the ladder, right? The ladder's whatever it is. When I actually started playing, you can find this video on my YouTube channel if you go to it. There's a video where I actually joined Elite Gaming. Do you remember that one? Yeah. I joined Elite Gaming, and I just played a bunch of random people in Elite Gaming, including guys like Naders and Clark Kent. I think I lost 11 games in a row. Like, I swear, I think I just lost infinite million games as Super Magical Cup competitors just knocked me on my butt. Okay, so let me keep the draft going here.
Is Woody lurking? Somebody says, Woody, you lurker.
He's back.
He's back. Thank you, everybody, for the kind words that you're saying in chat. Really, really appreciate it. It's definitely fun for Rumham and I think it's super interesting because for me, I was doing this alone for a long time. And then I saw Rumham streaming, and I was like, Rumham is the person we need.
we gotta get Hype Machine. Yeah, this guy is the high energy. Rainey is the brains. I'm the wild card. I think
there's no brains up here.
The brains. Rainey's the brains and the looks.
I just tell him
I'm the muscle.
I don't get left behind.
I'm surprised Bowler went that late. By the way, like Bowler How deep into the draft are we that Bowler comes out like
We're
that?
about halfway.
Great counter pick there by Zadian with Prince after Bowler, answering the Bowler with the Prince choice because Prince matches up so well against that card.
Dog Navin, that's a really interesting question, actually. Dog Navin says, with skill cap, do you think Clyde, I don't know what that means, by the way, but do you think Clyde was that good back then or ahead of the meta? First person to use Giant Poison back then in Season 1?
That's actually, that's a good question because I do think that Clark Kent's pick, by the way, Clark Kent, keep picking, keep going, that there's definitely two types of players, and you can be good at both things at the same time, but there's people who are really good like meta predictors, deck builders, tweakers. I'm that kind of player, but I am not I'm that kind of player, but I'm not a very good Twitch reaction speed player. You know who's an amazing reaction speed, twitchy, precision player who doesn't get enough credit for it is Woody. Woody is like one of the best technical players I've seen, but he just doesn't always get called out as someone who's like really that specific or that accurate or whatever, but he's really up there. Guys, I think like C. McHugh are also very good technical players. I think Clyde is stronger as a meta predictor and a deck builder. I think he is that good of a player, but I think what puts him over the top is his deck building and his ability to read what's coming up next. Marcel has the double pick.
Yeah, and it's interesting because the meta, the kind of the competitive meta has changed, just not in the card picks, but just in the skill level of the players. And I think at the time Clyde played his first Giant Poison and his Lava Hound Poison, in the Season 1 championships, he was really beginning to embrace the idea of like area denial.
Yes.
And that's why Poison was a key card for him. There were a lot of players who experimented with Poison before then, but they really did not identify that as like a win condition. Like, this is something that can carry me all the way to a tournament win.
And that was really the breakout. You're right.
Yeah, you see all the Super Magical Cups and Helsinki and all these other tournaments, and nobody was really playing big body Poison and like area denial that made it so that you could not play the cards that you wanted to put out that sustained damage. This was at the time where people were still playing things like Goblins, Spear Goblins, Archers, you know. And really, those cards are pretty good. But when you're living in a world of Zap and Poison, like those two spells alone, and that's why it's a staple of the meta now, those two spells alone already eliminate a lot of the cheap cards that you would have relied on before.
Yeah.
And this is also the reason why things like Fire Spirits and Ice Spirits are so good right now, because now if you do want a 2-cost card that can really be effective, it's not going to be Goblins or Spear Goblins, right? It's going to be Ice Spirit or Fire Spirit, because if you think about it, especially defensively, there's nothing for you to spell, right? They just appear, they jump, and then they have done their usefulness, right?
Definitely.
And so there's not really, you avoid the Zap Poison kind of thing. Now, of course, Zap is still great in many situations against Fire Spirits if you're good enough at, you know, but it's a much more safe use of the card compared to Goblins and Spear Goblins and Archers.
Sure, I like that. Let's go over all the cards. Let's see what they got here. So we're about 8 picks into this draft.
All right, so Super Magicals has the Hog Rider, the Inferno Tower. I just realized that. I think it's the Inferno Tower. Zap, Giant Pump, Musketeer, Bowler, Ice Wizard, Arrows. So they're building up to that Giant Bowler Collector.
Yeah, they actually almost have a Giant Poison.
So that's actually, this is the second time that it's happened today. And I wonder what in the drafting makes people think it's okay to just like let people have that deck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the big problem I think for Silent versus Reddit Alpha was that the Giant Bowler player also controlled Mega Minion.
Sure.
So I'm not sure who controls Mega Minion now. Okay, yeah, actually Reddit Alpha does. So I think they'll be much better suited at handling it. But Reddit Alpha controls Miner, Poison, Mega Minion, Ice Spirits, Guards, Mini P.E.K.K.A, Prince, Fireball, Fire Spirits, Princess. So already they have Miner and Poison on the same side, so that's going to be a win condition. They don't have Inferno Tower, though, but I wonder if it would be reasonable for them to pick up Inferno Dragon later in the draft, because it gives them that sort of Inferno defense, as well as something that can counter with a Miner pretty well. Naders is up with the double pick. Cool.
Yeah, they all saw it. They saw it a little bit ago. I don't know if you saw Chicken Bob.
What did Chicken Bob do?
Chicken Bob made a game request, and it said, everyone type Kappa123 in chat. There we go. And then he closed it real quick. So like I wouldn't notice. Like I don't see it. I see everything, buddy. And Zadian Clark Kent. Zadian's up next. That's pretty good follow-up because Clark Kent had picked arrows. So with Clark Kent taking arrows off the board, naders and minions, or minions and goblins become a much more reasonable choice because do they have zap as well? They have zap. Ooh, Super Magicals have zap and arrows.
Sparky.
Kipo.
Kipo? Sparky. What's a Sparky?
Nobody's
picked Sparky so far.
I know.
Nobody's
I'm
picked
bummed
Goblin
about
Barrel
this.
either. Ugh. Oh, I'm mad.
The real
Maybe
savage.
if King K102 was playing, he would have picked Goblin Barrel and Sparky. Kick. Why? Oh my god. Savage.
Yeah, I know, right? That's pretty. I don't think Hazard needs to get done dirty like that. So that's a good kid. It's a good kid, a nice guy, but I'm just, I'm a salty ham. I'm a salted ham today.
Oh my gosh.
We actually had, while we're finished up, it should be Clark Kent, and then I think Marcel picks twice. But we had the holiday party. The holiday party last night. It's a holiday. What is it called? It's sort of a end of quarter.
Party,
a company party last night.
We did the escape rooms. That was awesome.
Yeah, I got home at 11:30 and like hungover. So I'm like, cashing a Super Magical Cup today. I know the Hazard gives me the cry face. All right, no. So Clark Kent, and now it's Marcel.
You say bucket? Oh, rocket.
Rocket. Buckets. And then Clark again. Zadian. Okay.
We should get a counter for how many hammers Rumham has swung at people.
Hammers? Oh, the band hammers?
Yeah. Rumham has
true story. The Super Magicals are not a full clan, and we get probably like 100 requests a day, and you just have to like, because it's in the top 200 local. There's like 35 people in it, and it's in the top 200 local. So like we just get a lot of requests off the leaderboard because it's open and it's up there. There's a lot of trophies, and you just gotta be like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. No, I can't. No, sorry.
Oh man.
Oh, the Troll Destroyer. Rumham has 0 tolerance. Kipo. I like Kipo instead of Kappa. I don't know why Kipo makes me laugh so much more. So Marcel takes log with the first of his double picks. We need a big timer on the board. Actually, I totally agree with the idea of having like a timer. And if you go over the time, you just get like we pick for you, and it's like rage.
Just like we'll show you what cards we'll pick for you.
The problem is that there's so many good cards in the game. It's sort of like if I give you like Witch, is that like awful? Like it's maybe not like what you'd really want to pick, but it's not like it's unplayable either, right?
Yeah, it's interesting, and especially like, well, especially now like with King K102, like Giant Skeleton's not a bad pick necessarily
not
either,
at all.
you know. So
exactly, like you can pick bad cards, but they've been pretty good.
Yeah.
I still love you, Hazard. I'm sorry to boot you out.
Lightning.
All right, Lightning. Uh-oh. Are they setting up for the Three Musketeers now?
Here it comes. The set. Where's the spike?
Okay, so we have Lightning on the board, but Three Musketeers is definitely still available. I almost wonder if Lightning Three Musketeers is one of the primary draft strategies, right? Like, if you can pick, especially on a roundabout, right? Like, if you could go, Marcel P gets the double pick, and you go, Lightning Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
Take them right at the same time, so you don't have to, you can just keep it off the board entirely.
Yeah.
I mean, once Lightning's such a great pick, because even if you don't play it, it keeps a lot of things from happening on the other side of the board. Like, they can't do a lot if you have Lightning. They can't be like, oh, I'll play Trifecta or whatever.
Measured.
Yeah.
You have to be very measured.
Clark has Rocket and Lightning. Ooh.
They're gonna spell Cycle.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe. Oh boy.
I've talked to Hazard. Hazard's been on a Royale Roundtable, which you can check out on the Super Magical Cup YouTube channel. But Hazard, I've talked to Hazard. I know he's a boy. It's a good dude.
He's a person.
He's a real person.
Hazard is a person.
All right.
So Ricardo.
Clark Kent, it's up to Zadian, buddy. Zadian, what's going on?
Ricardo says, what are they picking? I don't get it. They're picking the decks that they will play. Each team, it's a team of 2, so there's a Super Magicals clan versus the Reddit Alpha clan. They will pick...
Lumberjack. And now Naders has the double pick.
They will pick cards up to 20 and then divide them 10 for each player on the team.
Right.
And face off with those cards that they have drafted. You may not pick a card that somebody else has picked. So this is a limited resource.
That's very true.
I am an attack helicopter. That is the Mega Minion.
That is, dude. How fun is the like? I mean, you can have your opinions on whether or not Mega Minion is a great card, bad card, good card, whatever. But it's so fun to watch. Yeah. It's an armored minion with helicopter wings on it.
I wish that it would play like Ride of the Valkyries or something when it came in, or some kind of rainy swipe right. Whose account are we on here?
Swipe right.
Whose account are we on here?
Oh, we're on. I think we're on SMC host.
Oh yeah, so this is even our personal account, so you won't see anything if we swipe right. Maybe we'll open chests. Sparky! Yay!
Oh, Sparky's off the board, and Naders does it in all caps because he knows how excited we're gonna be.
Yes.
Okay. How many picks are left? We're actually pretty close to the end, aren't we?
Yes. So if you could count up.
Yeah. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 3,
14.
14. Okay, cool. So we got the last 25% to go. This goes now Zadian, and then Clark, Marcel, Marcel, Clark, Zadian.
Do a chest opening. Do we have any chests to open?
We're getting near the end here.
Archers.
All right, Clark Kent picks now. Archers. Man, Archers have really shown themselves to be a very valuable card in this format. I mean, they looked really good in that match with Clash Wars. They didn't seem like they were particularly bad at all.
Sorry, got no chests.
No chests, nothing to open. Sorry, buddy. Super Magical Cup host account.
Yep.
Oh, this is actually a good time where we're kind of wrapping up the end of the draft to mention once again, we'll go over the thing. Next week, what we're doing this for is that next week is the Super Magical Cup Season 2 Championships where the top 16 players from Season 2 can play for the Season 2 title. You, the viewer, not only get treated to some of the best Clash Royale in the game, but you have a chance as a viewer to earn $100 as a viewer. Take this bracket. You can go download it off our Twitter account. Fill it in yourself using MS Paint or any other program that you want. Make sure that you put who's going to finish first and second in each group and then move them over to the top 8. Pick the winners, including all the way to the championship. And if your bracket is the most accurate one, you're going to win $100. I have Clyde winning the whole thing here. So you can fill it out, for example. So take each group, mark 1 and 2, and then take BW. Builders Workshop 1 goes in the BW1 spot. BW2 is Builders Workshop 2, etc., so on and so forth. Fill it all out. Then answer who's going to win all the way through the end. And you too can win $100.
All right. So in our absence, Clark Kent chose Knight. So now it's back to Zadian.
Yeah, it should be no. Zadian just picked. I'm sorry. Went Marcel. It went.
Okay. So it's Marcel P.
Yeah, I just had it here. Naders. Yeah, it's back to Marcel. I believe that's correct.
Yeah, he's gonna pick twice.
Oh yeah, it's Marcel. He gets 2 picks, and then Clark Kent picks twice.
Double pick Dark Prince.
Yeah. Well, he gets that's the first time we've seen Dark Prince so far, and you know what? I bet he's picking that against the Sparky.
Yeah.
And they have Prince Dude too, don't they? Yes. Yeah. Reddit Alpha has the ability to play double Prince now.
And Spear Gobs.
Very few. Okay. So Marcel and Spear Gobs, which have also looked really, really good, and now it's Clark Kent and then Zadian. And how many more picks are left?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17.
So
this is probably like 18. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Okay, 17, 16.
Okay. So we're very close to the end here. Let me make sure. Can I count it real quick just so I can see it? Okay, hold on. So up next is Clark Kent's picking right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 15, 16. Clark Kent is the 16th pick. And then it's going to go Three Musketeers. There it is, that lightning Three Musketeers. Three Musketeers are weird because they're a really terrible early pick, but a really good late pick. Okay. Three Musketeers, and now it goes Zadian X now, and then does it go Naders? I think there's 3 spots left. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17. So this will be 18.
It'll be Naders, right?
Yeah, 18. 19 is Naders again. And then Zadian, Clark Kent, and that's the end. And I think, and then the very last one is Marcel. So Furnace comes off the board. There's going to be only 5, there's only 5 picks left. Down to the last 5 picks. Naders, Zadian, Clark Kent, Marcel P. And I believe we are done at that point. Well, we'll double check, but I believe that's the end.
Furnace.
Goblin Barrel.
Oh, did it.
Do they have Zap and Arrows still?
Yep.
Wow. So Super Magicals have Zap and Arrows, and they also have Goblin Barrel, so they don't have to worry about it getting zapped or arrowed.
And Sparky.
And Sparky. They can play Sparky Goblin Barrel.
I think they should take Mirror, too.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, just start throwing barrels everywhere.
They've got Minion Horde. Okay, and now it's Zadian, Clark Kent, Marcel P. Furnace, my father, has been picked. Unending Chaos Gaming is super hot for the Furnace, as is D Wade here in chat.
Why is Furnace so popular?
It's a fun card. Who doesn't like Fire Spirits?
It's interesting because Furnace is like a, it's not like a big hitting card. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I can understand why you would like something like Barb Hut or Spear Gob Hut.
I think they're done now. Hold on, I'm sorry. There might not be a Clark Kent pick. Hold on, I'm sorry. Furnace. This might be it. Valk. Hold on, let me just count this up real fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I think Zadian might get one more pick. I'm not sure. Hold on. 19. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh, I'm sorry. Goblin Barrel's 2 lines. I read that. Okay, 19. Okay, there's. Okay, right. Yeah. There one more pick. So Clark Kent and then Marcel, then we're done.
All right.
Then Marcel, then done. Let me know who plays who when you can. Cool. Last 2 picks. Clark Kent takes Tombstone with the second to last pick. And the very last pick of the draft. I think Reddit Alpha should take Inferno Dragon. I'm serious.
Yeah.
They need some sort of... Well, here's the thing. Is there actually tanks on the other side? Giant?
Bowler, I guess.
That's about it, though. You're right, though. They only have Giant Bowler. Actually, interestingly enough, after watching what happened in the first few rounds, Golem was not picked at all.
Is there even a Lava Hound?
No Lava Hound. Tanks have kind of gone to the side as people are scooping up the mid-rangey cards, a lot of the 4 to 6 cost troops as much as possible.
Tombstone.
So give us Marcel P. Let's wrap this bad boy up and get right into these battles. I'm excited to watch this. And then we'll play 3 best of 3, each of them, and then we're good to go for this clan draft. This has been fun. Thanks everyone for sticking around.
Yeah,
as we test out this format here. Yeah, let us know. Definitely, if you have any feedback. I know it's a little hectic in chat right now. Definitely feel free to tweet at either Super Magical Cup or especially if you want to tweet at me because I'll read them all individually. You can tweet and let me know what you'd like to see improved. Send me a direct message, actually, is probably a really good way too. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just let me know what we could do better in this format because we really like the idea of drafting. We just got to make sure the rules are clean, they're simple, they're elegant, they're easy to understand. We did this test event to, give it a shot, see how it goes.
Marcel P, make your last pick. Maybe it's difficult because they just have to figure out which cards are already picked.
Freeze! A very underrated card, actually, given that it hasn't been picked at all in the first 2 rounds, and how good is that? You can stop a lot of things with Freeze. Yeah. Oh, that's a great answer. You know what they did? Their last 2 picks are Freeze Valkyrie against the 3 Musketeers. They did a really good job positioning themselves where 3 Musketeers is not going to be the total end of their life, especially because they have guards. So actually, Reddit Alpha has guards.
Fire Spirits, do they? Yeah, they have Fire Spirits.
They do.
And Ice Spirits, so
they have Fire
good
Spirits.
Combinations with Freeze.
Yeah, Freeze, Fire Spirits, guards, Ice Spirit for the solo Musketeers, Prince, Log. They actually have a lot of answers for 3 Musketeers. I wonder if they set up Super Magical Cup into a trap. You know what I mean? Into the a trap where they hope to bump into the Three Musketeers deck because they have plenty of good answers to it. These are the finals. D-Bagel asks in chat. Yes, we're about to get started with game 1 of the finals. And good point. Freeze is smart. I actually wonder if Freeze should be a higher round pick because, yeah, like, how do you counter that?
Yeah.
There's no like, ooh, I'll just play an anti-freeze card. Like, that doesn't work.
That's true. The biggest thing about Freeze is just counter pushing is really the big one.
All right. So I'll let you guys know who plays first. Nope. Log does not reset Sparky unless you get it. Actually, there's actually a specific situation where Log does reset Sparky. If Sparky is about to fire and the Log hits it at that exact moment, it resets. But I think that's a bug that'll get fixed. It's not...
it's not an actual... It's not
all
intended.
Right.
It's not a feature.
Here we go. And we got our first match.
Clark Kent calls out Marcel P.
Marcel request Clark.
Need 2 more.
All right. Zadian has his deck ready to go. That's interesting. I'm excited to see Zadian's deck. And then Marcel is trying to figure out what his other deck is. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's got 8 right here. He just needs the other 2 subs. I'm actually not so worried about the subs as long as they don't overlap, right? I think actually Squawkbot, Chicken Bob had a great feedback that if you had the 4 subs shared, but if anyone uses a sub, it's like done at that point, then I think that'd be kind of interesting. I like that.
I'll take Cannon and Fire Spirits.
Yep.
Yeah, I would definitely... I mean, it's interesting to think about because are you overloading your options, right? So you have... Basically, Marcel P's deck is trying to line up against the Three Musketeers deck. But he put the Fire Spirit, the Ice Spirit, and the Valkyrie all in the same deck. Do you want to split that up, right? Put the Freeze and the Valkyrie in one deck, and put the Ice Spirit, Fire Spirit, and Guards maybe in the other deck. Something like that, you know?
Oh, and here they go. They actually, in the list, we got the list here in the public chat. All right, Marcel, request Clark, let's go. Show on the road. On the row. Damn it. Show on the row. Road. That's what happens when you type phonetically. You're saying things out loud, then you type it. All right. It's really hard to do. I don't understand. Yeah, I think the log thing's a bug. I don't think it's supposed to reset Sparky. I think there's just an unfortunate situation where it does happen. D-Wade does mention, have you heard that? Actually, what do you think about this, Rainey? Supercell answered the other day about doing special challenges, a developer Q&A, and they said they're going to introduce special challenges, maybe with unique rules or wacky effects. What do you think about that?
I think that's great.
What do you think could happen? What kind of special challenge do you think could be out there?
I think that it'll change the Valkyrie into a big, huge 10-cost card that just ambles around and... I don't know. I don't know. So maybe something like that.
All right, here we go. First game of the finals. They're going to play a best 2 out of 3, Clark Kent and Marcel.
Good luck, good luck. Wow,
Absolutely.
They're so mannered.
They're very nice. Not like that mean old Naders making angry faces. I think Princess is super underrated in this format. It's been going, it actually went kind of late in a lot of drafts. It went really late to Reddit Alpha. I think Princess is out of control, especially if you can grab something like arrows early. There's only so many ways to efficiently counter a Princess.
Yes. Though, Tombstone is actually a good card to delay the Princess for forever.
Yes. That's a good point, actually. That Princess is probably going to sit there and shoot goblins until he's out of breath.
Here comes a boulder.
Ooh, I like that he's using these tanks one at a time to keep that Princess just shooting.
Yeah. Yeah.
And even though unfortunately the Princess might finally go down, but only if you're getting a whole lot of value.
A Hog Raider on the right
So
side.
we have double Prince for Marcel P.
Oh, look at the skeletons are coming in. Has to play the Valkyrie, and the Hog Raider is going to get 3 swings there. Wow, Knight actually 1v1 the Dark Prince.
Right, and you know what? I really like the double Prince against the Bowler deck. I think that's actually something that's going to go really well for Marcel P in terms of matchups.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, but as we noted, Fire Spirit, Ice Spirit, Valkyrie are all committed to Marcel P's deck.
Absolutely.
So The real question I have is, okay, even if this works out well, will Three Musketeers come back and just wreck Red and Alpha?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think that they have the tools for it, but I don't know. I think they split them up between their decks, right? I think one deck probably has Freeze and Guards. The other has Ice Spirit and Valkyrie. You know what I mean? They made both their decks Three Musketeers proof, which I think is a really smart deck building play of them.
All right, Dark Prince.
It's a good point. Clyde's mentioning in chat that Double Prince is pretty wrecked by Tombstone, especially because it's so cheap you can cycle to it and always have a Tombstone available.
Yep, and the Princess is not super helpful.
And what are the last two cards in Marcel P's deck? Because we know they don't have Zap or Arrows.
Yeah.
Right? Those are both in...
the timing might be good. No, it's not good.
Right at the end, though. But actually, good job by Princess to help clear that up.
Yep.
So far, though, Clark Kent's looking pretty strong because you're right, the Tombstone's really keeping that thing off. Those Hog Riders, though, aren't nearly as effective as I think they could be.
Yeah, 434 health on the bottom right tower for Clark Kent. I think he's sitting pretty comfortable. I mean, it's defensive enough between Ice Wizard, Tombstone, and Bowler. There's the freeze.
There's that freeze we were talking about.
Yep, there's a freeze, and I don't know if Marcel P has the power to do it. I think he really needed big bodies.
I think, actually, I don't know. Whoa, no! Oh, I didn't get the hang in.
Wow.
Okay, wow. I was going to say, if this thing does hit, then he's in trouble. If it doesn't hit, I don't know. There's still a lot of opportunity because notice that there's no direct damage in Clark Kent's deck. He's a Psych on old Rummy Hammy. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's a well-constructed deck on Clark Kent.
Very good part by Clark Kent. That was very different.
I really like that he separated the Giant and the Bowler. Really, he just identified, okay, I want the Bowler, the Tombstone, and the Ice Wizard, then that'll be enough defensively for my purposes, and then we just counter-push with Hog Rider, have that Lightning for additional spell cycle.
Right.
And it just worked out perfectly. I think that was a very clean deck.
Yeah, it's interesting because it doesn't look like a standard deck that we normally see, but it works, and it had a lot of good strategies for stuff. He's got the Distraction and an investment with Tombstone. He's got Bowler as another big investment card. He can also put Ice Wizard and Knight behind the tower if you really want to. He's got Lightning to clear out any of the stuff that might overwhelm sort of Hogs and Knight pushes. And he's got Zap and Goblins for cheap cycles and support. Marcel P played, I think, a really interesting double Prince deck. I like the Fireball Freeze combination. And then, of course, he had Ice Spirit and Princess to help back him up.
All right.
Pretty good. So we're going to see pretty much the same decks. There might be some substitutes. What does Marcel P have as substitutes? He has Cannon and Fire Spirits on the bench, which is going to be awesome because he's got Cannon for the Hog Rider. Let's see if he subs it in.
Let's see.
Woohoo. So I'm going to switch these things up. You know what's crazy? Clark Kent not playing Minor.
Oh, yeah.
Minor was taken by Reddit Alpha, but yeah, Reddit Alpha has Minor, which I think we can assume then Zadie is playing the Minor deck.
Yeah. I wonder. I think Marcel P might be in a very tough spot.
Right. Uh-oh.
Here comes a Prince.
Here comes a Prince that has no care about a Bowler at all. It's going to walk right through it. And actually, that Bowler, the Prince actually might be able to do a decent amount of damage.
Yeah, it's not. Oh no, one skeleton does walk.
The problem is that the Princess isn't locked onto the Bowler and isn't helping out. Yeah. Oh, great placement there, where it's soaking but not taking damage. The Hog Rider goes down the other lane in response to the cannon coming down.
Gets one swing, but now there's a lot of elixir on the board that Clark Kent has to answer to. His Tombstone is down, and he only has 5 elixir. This would
be a good time to play a Prince, actually, because that Tombstone might go to... Oh, never mind. The Knight ends up absorbing that push.
Yeah, Clark Kent is really demonstrating why Tombstone is crazy.
Yeah, well, it's a really strong... That's what I really like about draft format is that because everyone doesn't have answers to everyone doesn't have Zap and Poison and whatever, a lot of cards that seem kind of niche and maybe not that strong become really powerful because you realize, oh, this card's only not insane because every deck has Zap and Poison or Ice Spirit or whatever.
Yeah. All right, Goblins take down the Princess. Oh, freeze, Prince freeze, but I don't think that'll be enough.
Oh, the Ice Spirit goes over to the Tombstone instead. You're right, though. That was 9 elixir. Oh, man.
Good thing he was able to take down the Bowler, though.
I think Marcel P is realizing that his double Prince setup is not quite going to work.
Yeah, I think that Tombstone without spell removal is tough.
Right.
Especially because you don't have any building chasers either, so your troops will always try to clean up the skeletons.
Great lightning there. I like that. Hog Rider goes down to the Ice Spirit. Good Ice Spirit defense there.
Oh, so many skeletons.
Now, what's the other card in Marcel P's deck? He's got an 8th card, and we haven't quite seen it yet. I wonder if it's... He doesn't have Lightning. Clark Kent has Lightning and Rocket, so it's not one of the traditional things you might expect. It's like a Rocket in the back or whatever.
Yeah, I
He has Fire Spirits? Maybe it's Fire Spirits and he's not using them.
Oh, Prince gets sidetracked, yeah.
That Tombstone is just nuts! Oh, he timed it just a little... Oh, but the Valkyrie cleaned it up. Okay.
But the question still is, there's no building chasers, and so you're going to get distracted by 100% of the units when you have Knight, when you have Ice Wizard.
The double Princess, though, is stacking up. This could be a path to victory for Marcel P.
No!
Target! The Prince came down a second too late. That could have been it, I think, honestly. I mean, like, if you can get out multiple Princesses...
I think he would have benefited from widening their angle a little bit.
Okay.
You know, you might as well. The Princess has so much range. Just make sure you're not feeding. Wow, that's a good lightning.
Great lightning right there. You can get 1 hit in, 2 hits, and I think he might just be going for like a lightning, the sort of lightning zap strategy. You can just kind of pull it out. But this is a lot of stuff. This is a really big push. That can definitely overwhelm and double elixir time the Tombstone.
Dark Prince takes down all the skeletons and will wipe out the goblins and the freeze.
So right now, Clark Kent's in a situation where he's just got to start throwing elixir down in order to defend it. It's not turning out too good for him. He's losing a lot of troops here to the same 9 elixir that have been on the field for a while.
That was a big push, but the question is still no connection onto the tower. The only thing was a fireball that actually did damage, and at this point, Marcel P needs a lot more repetition. Oh no!
The lightning comes out. I was gonna say the worst card in there actually might have been the freeze because there was nothing to freeze.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he froze, but it was like what do you? There's no damage being done to the bowler or the tower, so the freeze was maybe a little misplaced. I liked everything else though about Marcel P's push there though. It seemed really good. Awesome. So that is Clark Kent 2-0 over Marcel P. Now it is Nader's request. Haters request Zadian.
All right. So Clark Kent 2-0s.
2-0s Marcel P.
Representing Super Magicals.
With a
Hog Lightning.
It was Hog Lightning Bowler with Ice Wizard, and really I think the MVP of that match was actually Tombstone. Tombstone, a card that was picked. It was their last pick. Look at that. It was their 20th pick was Tombstone, and I think that card almost single-handedly kept Clark Kent in that game. And it was just as effective as Ice Wizard, for sure.
Marcel P says, I didn't have anything for Tombstone. Well played, Clark
Kent.
Very,
very good. And the game 2, Marcel P switched out. Let's see what he switched between games 1 and 2. So he had Double Prince, Valkyrie, Ice Spirit, Prince. Okay. Switched out Spear Goblins for Cannon, which makes sense because Spear Goblins might be what you would normally use as a distraction unit, but Hog Riders just ignore them altogether. So by subbing out the Spear Goblins, which you might use against something like Mini P.E.K.K.A. for the Cannon, I think that was pretty good, really interesting. I think that was a smart decision. The problem wasn't so much Marcel P's defense, it was Marcel P's offense against a deck that has Ice Wizard and Tombstone. I play Double Prince a lot, and those are like 2 of your hardest cards to match up against.
Yeah. All right. So now Zadian's most definitely going to have 3 Musketeers, I feel. So it's a question of, okay, or rather, was it Super Magicals that had 3 Musketeers? I don't remember.
Super Magicals have 3 Musketeers. It's right here. So it's this one.
Oh.
Yeah, they picked it right there. So this might be a 3 Musketeers deck for Naders. I'm not sure.
I think Super Magicals might be in a really, really, really good spot. We'll see.
Ooh.
I mean, it's...
Okay, so Zadian is running Minor Furnace.
There it is!
A deck
you don't got Zap!
Oh, there's no Zap! That's right!
The Giant's tanking for him. Oh my god.
The skeletons do come down, but they're doing so much damage. Oh my god. Maybe Goblin Barrel is like a gnarly, incredible, insane pick because there's only 1 Zap and 1 arrow.
If you have something tanking for
the
your...
arrows... Take down the furnace so that the fire spirits don't work. Oh, I like that play a lot.
They get a swing. Oh, they barely. Yes. That could have been so much more damage. Good positioning on the poison. But yeah, Goblin Barrel with a tank. I'm telling you, man, it is a huge impact spell.
I absolutely agree. And you know what? Also, was not on the board because Marcel P had it. Valkyrie, which is one of those really good cards against Goblin Barrel.
That's what we were talking about. Marcel P front-loaded everything: the Valkyrie, the Freeze, the Ice Spirit, the Fire Spirit, and now you're just left with poison. Right,
definitely. Oh man, so Barbs come down. I think Barbs are a good answer, right? Like they're not going to be great against the Mega Minion, but they might soak a little bit. If he attacks the Barb, like, I think you'd much rather lose a Barbarian or 2 than have the Mega Minion attack your tower.
Yep.
Okay.
Here it comes again.
The Goblin Barrels come down again. He's got poison. Yeah, oh, the Log. That's right. Log, of course, saves the day this time.
Question is, do you poison that and now you're opened up to Minion Horde?
Oh, and the Barbs. Remember, the Barbs aren't getting getting poisoned now. Skeletons come down to help distract, but at what point?
Pretty much any push that gets constructed right now gets taken down by minion horde.
Right. Oh, and you're right. There they go. Good, very good prediction.
Yep.
And the poison's out of his hand.
Yep.
Oh, but he can use the fire spirits of the furnace.
Nice.
That is a 4 elixir
for 5,
answer. That really, that's totally worth it. You might lose what, 1 push at the very end.
Yes. Yeah. We'll see. It's very interesting.
I like that defense. That's much better. Don't worry about the miner as much
Yeah.
as all the cards coming up after the miner. This is crazy though.
Oh,
Buddy.
God.
The last card we see out of all the players, and that's a great log there on the barbs. I think that's something that's going
He's
to help
got to
save
log
him.
this.
But now he's going to poison. He does have at least the troops there.
He's not logging it.
He had to use log. He was logging the barbarians on the left side.
Oh, no. Oh!
Sparky just blows that thing out of the water. The guards came down, but it was already locked on. And Sparky survives yet again.
The Sparky lives on.
That is a fully charged Sparky, sir.
The Sparky lives on. Oh,
Uh-oh, God,
and
no.
what do you poison?
And it's targeted. The guards come down. Oh, God. Stopping the bleeding, but at what cost? At what cost?
Oh, no.
Wow.
Almost 2-0. That.
Woo-hoo! So Naders takes game 1 with a giant Goblin Barrel Sparky deck because, well, Super Magicals picked up Zap really early.
Now, Poison Log is actually a pretty good spell combination, and we
Right.
even see in Super Magical Cup people running decks with Poison Log and no Zap that exists, but the question is, I think they have just better all-around options in terms of splash and dealing with
Yeah,
GV
well, they
units.
picked, let's see, Super Magicals picked Zap and Arrows, but they didn't, and then Rocket Lightning. So they got the 2 small spells, the 2 big ones. Reddit Alpha have Poison, or I'm sorry, have Fireball and Poison. So they have the 2 middle ones, and then they grabbed the sides. But then what they did was they immediately picked all the cards that you really want Arrows and Zap to fight. So they sort of had that early strategy of taking the 2 cheap spells. Arrows wasn't even picked that early, but they got Zap and Arrows, and then immediately were like minions, goblins, barbs, like almost everything.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Uh-oh. I really like Furnace, actually. Furnace has really impressed me because its ability to stop both the barbs and the minion horde.
Right.
I like, and archers actually think are another great choice in terms of, like, that wasn't the best answer to minion horde, but better than losing a tower, right?
Yeah. Here comes the miner popping up the back.
I like the musketeer play. He's gonna, and the musketeer's gonna go down the right side as well, so it was able to stop that, but then also contribute to the weak side. Question is, would you rather have the musketeer go down the left side and keep that furnace from doing any damage?
Oh, poison's out. This is gonna be a log.
Yep, logs it. And that Sparky does nothing. And now Naders has to deal with a full health Mega Minion coming across to his tower.
Does he have any options? He's gonna get
1,
a swing.
2.
Ooh, 600 damage. Zapping without Zap available. This is very, very smart.
Yes. That was what I was talking about earlier with the spawner decks. I was like, spawner decks aren't necessarily great on their own, but in a world where like you're not worried about everyone having, rocket and poison and stuff, maybe spawners are viable. Maybe late in your pick, you just go, oh, my last 2 picks, Barb Hut, Gob Hut, and then just pair it with all your other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, Furnace is down, and Poison should be cycled as well.
Yep.
Alright, and that's going to be a Poison drop, I think.
And the furnace is already blocked, so it doesn't even allow... This is like adjacent...
No.
Oh, there's the poison.
No, that's too late,
no,
though.
A little too late, unfortunately.
Oh,
Oh,
my
barely
goodness.
saves the tower, but at what cost?
Yes, 368 health. And that's the big thing about using Poison as opposed to Fireball against Minion Horde is that it's not going to do that damage instantaneously.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually think that Zadian's doing a good job at like keeping pressure up on the left side, but it's just so difficult to pull off these minor pushes when you have to defend against Giant Sparky in the other lane.
All right.
Now, what can he stop this? Can he play guards maybe? Oh, he does play guards. Okay, he wanted to play it maybe a little earlier, but now with the guards in there, and it almost knocked the Sparky back.
Oh, the Sparky lives.
Wait, but for how long? Okay, at least not enough to get another shot off. Okay.
Wow, yeah.
I like the poison there too, and I don't think the Sparky's charged. Okay, it is charged up now, but it'll take quite a bit of damage and actually might take some shots before getting into the tower range. Oh! I know what Zadian wanted to do there. He wanted the fire spirits to get away from the furnace so that the fire spirits would take the shot and the furnace would stay alive, but...
Oh, Naders just wants any kind of damage, and that might have been... Okay.
Well, we have 4 seconds left, though.
We'll see. The guards are going to get up to the
2,
tower.
3. Whoa! No!
Naders.
So Naders wins 2-0 over Zadian. The Super Magicals take the first draft event down.
Yeah, I think that the Super Magicals were just much more keen on the whole drafting, and that might have been Naders and you going back and forth and drafting and practicing.
Yeah.
And Naders had a very clear strategy.
To give you the background on this format, we actually, when we recorded Roundtable Royale, we would have our guests, we'd do 4-player drafts right there, just in between like filming the segments and stuff. And then we kind of took the idea of like, all right, let's do this as an actual event. And so actually, you know what though? I think what Super Magicals did, which I think Reddit Alpha had a very good tier 1 strategy, which is let's try to build the best decks we can. Let's figure out how to get good meta decks with our picks. Super Magical Cups take the tier 2 strategy, which is let's get rid of answers and then pick all of the cards that you would want that answer for.
Yeah.
So that was definitely something where I think they were thinking a little ahead, not so much about how to build the best 8-card deck, but how to create situations where your opponent just goes, oh, I don't have cards for this, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, think it was Zap, when they took Zap, 3rd pick, Hog, Inferno, Zap. By the way, I don't think they even played Inferno Tower. They picked Inferno Tower 2nd overall and then didn't play it. Mm-hmm. But they had Zap 3rd overall, or third round pick. And then from there, Minions, Goblins, Minion Horde, Sparky, Goblin Barrel, and then Tombstone. How many Zap bait cards can you have in the same deck?
Yeah. And I think it really goes to show that like drafting is a big skill that if it becomes more popular, competitive players are going to really have to learn how to play that space.
And that's what I'm looking forward to. The Super Magical Cup, I think, really pioneered the double deck format that you came up with, and now it is sort of known throughout the community as a really good way to show off your deck building skills, your creativity, your flexibility as a player. I think drafting, and especially clan events, can really show that next level of teamwork, of flexibility, of understanding really how the game works and trying to position yourself to upset opponents and not just copy the best 8 cards off the ladder.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, we had a really great draft kind of test fun stream today.
Yes.
And I hope all the players had fun, and I hope you guys had fun watching it and listening to us talk about random cards and random things Super Magical Cup. There's something very big coming up next week, which is the Season 2 Championships, and the competition is absolutely insane.
We'll go to the bracket one last time, guys. So before we sign off, that's right, next Saturday, October 15th, noon Pacific, same time as always, top 16 players will be competing in the Season 2 Championships. You saw a lot of them today. You saw Zadian and Marcel here today. We saw some members of Silent Gaming earlier. It was just a lot of fun. We saw, number 2 on the leaderboard from Season 1, Clark Kent and Naders. Actually, Clark Kent and Naders were both in the Season 1 championship, and they can tell you how unbelievable that field is. It's very difficult to pull off a win. Clyde won Season 1 championship, and he's got a good chance at the Season 2 championships. Make sure to go to our Twitter page, download this bracket, fill it out yourself, retweet it back at us. The best and most accurate bracket is going to win $100. And today, let's actually congratulate our 2 players because the finalist teams, Marcel P. and Zadian, both are going to earn Season 3 qualifier points so that they can just go ahead and be right at the first of the line to play in the Season 3 bracketed events, as is Naders and Clark Kent, who not only get a whole bunch of points for Season 3 of Super Magical Cup, but walk home with $50 each for allowing us to test the format. So thank you very much, guys. Very wonderful.
Cool. All right. I'm excited for next week's championship.
Event,
Yeah.
I think the groups into a bracket is the actual. There is no other way to get that many high quality matches time after time. You're gonna see literally every match could be a finals of a Super Magical Cup, and we're gonna watch like 4 hours of amazing matches. It's gonna be incredible. The Season 1 championship was probably the high point of all the broadcasts we've done so far. It was one of my favorite things to broadcast. It was so much fun. I'm so excited for the Season 2 championships.
Yes.
It's going to be great.
Yep, me too. Looking forward to that. Make sure you submit your fantasy brackets, and we'll see who will be the best vision farseer of the Super Magical Cup Season 2 championships. Are you guys going to tweet out to submit your fantasy brackets? The current tweet doesn't say to do so. Yeah.
That's true. If you want to submit it, tweet it at us. Yeah, definitely. You got to tweet it at Super Magical Cup so we can see it. If you just tweet it yourself and we're not following you, we're not going to see it. So make sure to tweet it back at us so we can take it, and we'll take all the ones that are submitted, and the best one will be a much wealthier player for sure.
All right.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in. Please give us your feedback on YouTube, Twitch, direct message me on Twitter, whatever you need to do. Give us some feedback on this format because we would like to continue to do draft formats, clan formats. This was our first test of a draft and clan format, and we're gonna have a whole bunch of notes already we've been taking down, and we're gonna compare those notes, make the format better than ever, and you might see it in the future.
All right.
We'll see.
We'll see you guys next week on Super Magical Cup.